everybody that's been involved in care. There's another number that I have, which is 77. And, you know, whether that's lucky enough in Vegas, lucky sevens, but I'm just going to give you a breakdown of that number real quick. And, you know, if you can just tolerate me for a second here. But each survivor that has come in has been touched and had the ability to have them sitting here with us today because of 77 different individuals that were ready to go at a moment's notice. And that began with the first person that called 911, right? That's one person right there, and who do they call? A dispatcher. That's another person. So that dispatcher took that call and dispatched officers. We have Metropolitan Police Department here that risk their lives every day, that respond usually 2 for a severe trauma. And then the fire department. We have Dr. Slattery here, and I think Chief might have stepped out to do some heroic work, but so they have an engine crew of 4 members. Then you have your rescuers for 2 that will show up. Then you have the ambulance shows up with another 2 EMTs, and then they phone into our telemetry nurse, and then they'll take report. Then you have a unit clerk there that's going to page out the trauma team. At that moment, you have that person talks to the operator, another person ready to go, so talks to the operator. We have security that will be dispatched to secure the trauma center for the inbound trauma. We have 2 trauma nurses. We have the respiratory therapist that will come over, which is usually 1, and then some of our C-STARS program. You have your lab technician ready to go. You have your 2 x-ray techs, one to put the plate there, the other one take the picture. I'm just kind of revisioning every trauma call I'm going through. I had to write these down. Pharmacists, you have a pharmacist and a resident standing by to give drugs. You have the trauma residents, which is usually 2. You have another 2 medical students. You have your trauma fellow that's overseeing it, and then the Dr. Files is a trauma attending overseeing all this simultaneously. You have your anesthesiologist that shows up. You have a blood bank technician. You have a radiologist that's going to read these films and report back these acute findings right away to us. You'll have the CT tech that's in charge of making sure we get our CAT scan done in time. You have your TICU charge nurse that will pop in the CAT scan and say, is this one for us, and should I start mobilizing the ICU? So that you have the OR scrub nurse. You have the OR scrub tech, a circulator, anesthesia tech, and then now you're in the operating room. After all that, we get the patient over to the ICU. EVS comes in and gets the whole entire trauma area cleaned up and gets the operating room cleaned up, ready for the next one. We have transporters that are running blood back down and forth to the unit. We have the TICU day nurse. We have TICU night nurse. We have intensivists. You have the ICU fellow, 2 more ICU residents. You have the unit clerk there dispatching all of these orders and things we're doing. Numerous consultants, as you know, on average 2. You have your nutritionist, your speech therapist, your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, your case manager, social worker, nurse practitioner. Then you have a transporter that gets that patient up to the floor when they're doing better. Then you have the floor nurse, the floor night nurse, supervisors. Then you have 2 EMTs that come and transport them to rehab. And then you'll have the rehab physicians and some rehab nurses and some more rehab therapists. And then you're sitting here today. So I know that everybody kind of talks about, oh, the trauma surgeon, the trauma team, but I mean, it's a team for a reason because there's so many individuals that are involved in the reason why you're sitting here today. And I couldn't be prouder to be a part of that. And I know Dr. Files is, and Dr. Chestovich, and all of us that do trauma, and Dr. Lewis that's done it 20 plus years as well. God bless you.
On behalf of all of those people, the 77 and beyond that it takes for us to care for our patients, thank you for allowing us to take care of you. Thank you also for joining us for this edition of UMC Digest. We hope you enjoyed the stories that you saw and that it helps you remember how quickly life can change. For more information on UMC's Trauma Center, please go to our website, umcsn.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time right here on Clark County Television. Until then, take care.
Preparing today reduces the consequences of a disaster tomorrow.
Our community, our home, Clark County, Nevada. Thanks for watching Clark County Television, the best access to your local government.
Coming up next on Clark County Chronicles, the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center continues to provide a place of refuge and healing for 1 October victims. A new and improved harbor is a sanctuary for kids and teens in peril. And it's nearly baseball season, and new diamonds will shine in Summerlin and Mountain's Edge. Those stories and more coming up next on Clark County Chronicles. Hello, I'm Randy Swallow. Welcome to Clark County Chronicles. For the past few months, the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center has provided professional, compassionate support to the victims of the 1 October tragedy, with services ranging from legal and emotional to help applying for financial assistance through the Nevada Victims of Crime program. Located at 1524 Pinto Lane, the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center continues to provide dedicated and compassionate service to those affected by the shooting and events at the Route 91 Harvest Concert in Las Vegas on October 1st, 2017.
We had 22,000 victims. So with 22,000 individuals needing resources, the Resiliency Center was set up in about a week's time, actually, transitioning from the Family Assistance Center over here to the Resiliency Center. A lot of what we did with the Resiliency Center we learned from other mass shooting incidents in terms of how they resource this. And obviously the scope in this tragedy is much larger. So it's a work in progress. We continue to work on resourcing and figuring out how we can ensure that we're getting services to those individuals.
Victims are recommended to reach out to the Resiliency Center staff and fill out an intake form to start the process for receiving services and support. The form is available at the center or online at vegasstrongrc.org.
It's really a twofold process. We have the local side, which we're really trying to promote to get our local Nevada and statewide in contact with us, and then on the national level, we're still working on different ways to do it. Social media is obviously one of those, but the second piece is also through public television, we're also going to try to work on radio spots on country western stations across the country.
Okay, so I would be happy to give them a call.
Now and in the next few months, staff at the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center are stepping up their outreach efforts to make victims aware of the services and amenities available.
But we're seeing a lot of that where people's lives are just crumbling down around them and they just don't know what to do. So we're kind of able to step in there and help.
One of the newest additions to the center is Essential On-Site Legal Counsel. Tennille Pereira is a staff attorney at the Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada, and her usual caseload consists of consumer-related matters.
Right now on my client list is 250 plus.
The Legal Aid Center is now a full-time partner, and Tennille Pereira now works as an in-house attorney at the Resiliency Center. She provides legal navigation to people and families involved in the tragedy.
We had lots and lots of employment issues. People that worked the event that weren't paid what they were supposed to be paid, or the tips disappeared, or workers' compensation claims because they were working the event and now they can't work. They have been traumatized, and these are the types of things that they did. Like, they were bartenders, bar backs, food servers, and they would work these events, and now they're so traumatized that they can't work. And so, what do? Where do they turn for help?
Hello, good morning.
Staffed with experts from a range of partnering agencies, the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center is a one-stop shop for caring. The center offers victim advocacy, counseling, spiritual and mental health referrals, and assistance with the application process.
In the almost 5 months since the tragedy, we have processed approximately 4,300 applications for benefits. And so far we paid out about $1.2 million in benefits. But our filing period for those who were present at the concert and experienced either physical injuries, emotional trauma, any other types of loss that they may qualify for, they have until October 1st of 2018 to apply, and we encourage you to do so.
The Nevada Victims of Crime program offers funds to help pay for out-of-pocket expenses resulting from the attack. Anyone who's present at the concert during the shooting is urged to file an application with the program by 1 October this year to be eligible for coverage of expenses that you may incur in the future, such as counseling. There are 3 avenues to apply for assistance.
If anybody still wants to file a claim, It's very simple. Go to the Las Vegas Resiliency Center. We have an employee who is there every day during all business hours, and he can get your application to us right away. You can also go to our website, which is voc.nv.gov. We have the application online there. We've made it very simple. You don't need a police report, and it's in English and Spanish. And last, you can come to our office, which is 2200 South Rancho Drive, Suite 210A.
Clark County took great care and used other cities' expertise in decorating and designing the center, from the lobby to the artwork adorning the walls.
So it can't really look like a medical office. It really can't look like just a standard resource center. So because of the trauma and what people experience, as you look around the center, what you'll see is you have photos of the incident, you have photos of the memorial, and how people grieved in the initial first few days and then weeks. So the crosses, as an example, at the Las Vegas sign, photos of that. But then we also got all kinds of heartwarming gifts from other jurisdictions that have been through similar incidents. So when you look around, you'll see those. You'll see those thank yous, you'll see those photos, and it's really so those that are dealing with the trauma can feel comfortable here in terms of the incident and recognizing it.
One important piece of advice is to hold on to anything that proves you attended the event, such as pictures, receipts, emails, social media posts, wristbands, and more. The Vegas Strong Resiliency Center website is a single point of contact for locals and a valuable tool for out-of-state concert attendees. Visit Vegas Strong RC for more information on all the services and resources available, or check out its Facebook page. You can drop in, no appointments necessary, and the center is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. excluding holidays. A therapist is on site every day to talk to walk-in clients or callers. The phone number is 702-455-2433 for local callers, or 1-833-299-2433 for anyone outside Nevada. Our most famous sign shone an appropriate shade of red in February, encouraging people to wear that color and to recognize the American Heart Association's Heart Month. A pair of red-clad county commissioners and officials from the American Heart Association brightened the day at the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. The event was a red light ceremony, a departure from the usual yellow bulbs, to kick off the American Heart Association's American Heart Month.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women in the United States. Heart disease and strokes are responsible for more than 840,000 deaths in America every single year. That's about 1 out of every 3 deaths are directly attributable to heart disease.
But those scary numbers can easily be reduced. A heart-healthy lifestyle is something we can all achieve by simply eating better, exercising, and visiting a doctor on a regular basis.
Why this is so near and dear to me is because I lived for a long time with a broken heart. I lost my mother to heart disease. And for me, I look forward to this awareness every month to make sure that we get out and we promote a healthy lifestyle.
To be American Heart Month in Clark County and Southern Nevada. And
the Board of County Commissioners presented a proclamation to the Heart Association for their dedicated and professional efforts to help us all, and especially the women of Clark County.
Did you know that every 80 seconds a woman dies from heart disease? And 80% of all cardiovascular diseases are preventable. So as Commissioner Weekly and Commissioner Sisolak said, it's very important to take care of your body, to know your numbers, to know your blood pressure and what your cholesterol levels are, to get out and get moving.
For more information, visit heart.org and click on the local Las Vegas chapter to learn more about healthy living, heart support, and much more. The professional sports stadium and arena renaissance continues in Clark County as the Las Vegas 51's baseball team will head west up here to downtown Summerlin and play ball in a brand new ballpark in 2019. A lineup of heavy hitters from Clark County, Summerlin, the Convention Center, and Pacific Coast Baseball turned the dirt on what will become a field of dreams in Summerlin. This now barren piece of desert will soon become the Las Vegas Ballpark, the future home of the Las Vegas 51s. The 51s are a AAA team in the Pacific Coast League and have called Cashman Field home for 3 decades.
Nobody thought that it would take this long to get a new stadium, but I think anything worth having sometimes takes a little bit of time. The beauty of this is that we're learning from all of the other stadiums that have been built, and this is going to be the most phenomenal place in all of minor league baseball.
By next season, the team's glory days will shift a few miles west of downtown Las Vegas to downtown Summerlin. Summerlin's parent company, the Howard Hughes Corporation, owns the team and the new ballpark.
There's no better way to bring people together than through sports. The great public pastime that enhances quality of life and provides a fun, exciting, and positive focal point for die-hard and casual fans.
With plenty of peanuts and Cracker Jack available, hundreds of baseball fans turned out for the groundbreaking ceremony.
Yeah!
Construction is already underway, and the 10,000-seat Las Vegas ballpark will be built just a tape measure home run away from another sports facility, the City National Arena, the training facility and head office for the Vegas Golden Knights National Hockey League squad.
So it's really rewarding when you do have downtown Summerlin, when you do have the Golden Knights, and now to have the 51s in our backyard. What more could we ask for?
Having a pair of athletic complexes in this area will benefit professional sports and the community in the future. And the multi-million-dollar facility will provide much-appreciated construction jobs immediately.
It's got some carpenters here. I've got some laborers here. We've got 365 days to get this thing built. And I'm counting on the fact that we will be open on time. I know that Kevin and David have committed to that. And in a short year, they will be able to build this stadium. I know we have the men and women that can put the concrete and the steel in the ground and get it done. So thank you all for making this happen. This is family entertainment at its best. God bless you all, and let's play ball next year.
Amateur and Little League baseball players will soon have new places to play. The Desert Diamond Baseball Complex is under construction and will soon be a jewel up here in Mountain's Edge. The Reedham Elementary School is already prepared to play ball, and their rendition of the iconic song was a musical highlight at the groundbreaking of the Desert Diamonds Baseball Complex in Mountain's Edge. This facility will feature 4 adult baseball diamonds, lights, bleachers, and natural turf.
This is where the cleat hits the mound, the toe meets the rubber, because this is what it's all about. It's a legacy project, and I say a legacy project in that this will be unlike anything that's been done here in Southern Nevada, in the state of Nevada.
A trio of county commissioners led the shovel brigade during the ceremony as construction crews continued their work. With 4 fields, the complex is ready to host a variety of baseball tournaments, from high school to NCAA Division I. Mountain's Edge is a well-established master-planned community, and they have worked with Clark County in many of their neighborhood parks. Phase 1 of the Mountain's Edge Regional Park opened 3 years ago, and last year the Board of County Commissioners secured funding for this Phase 2. Slated to open later this year, District F Commissioner knows this place will be a grand slam not just for Mountain's Edge, but for the entire community.
We have looked to this for the past 10 years. And so today to stand here means more to me than I think I could ever explain.
We must take a short break, but when we come back, I'll tell you about a brand new harbor in Clark County. This is Clark County Chronicles.
Thank you for calling the Jury Services Office.
You haven't really lived until you've had a hand in justice. Serve on a jury. Be sure to respond if you get a jury summons and play a role to ensure that justice is fairly served.
There's no time for downtime. Better get better, quick. UMC Quick Care has 8 locations, and you never need an appointment. So get in and get better. UMC Quick Care.
Since opening a year and a half ago, the harbor has become such a great success that they now operate around the clock at this new and improved location, thanks to the generosity of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
So this is the lobby to the harbor, our juvenile assessment center. When families come in,
we last visited the harbor last fall, and since its voyage in October 2016, this collaborative, unique diversion program has helped keep many struggling children and teens from being sent to detention. That original harbor on Pecos Road in the Family Courts Complex proved to be so successful that a new and improved harbor has set sail to a new location a mile away on Mojave near Washington.
Thank you for calling the harbor.
This place is a juvenile assessment center with a host of community partners all under one roof. Mission of the harbor is unchanged. Wrap children and teenagers with the services they need to keep them from entering the juvenile justice system. In other words, provide compassion, education, and guidance instead of incarceration. There is absolutely no cost to drop into the harbor, and the new location is now open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
3, 2, 1.
The grand opening was actually a celebration of 2 new facilities. The harbor shares space with the new Family Justice Center. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department welcomed the agencies to an old Metro training station. The building became surplus, so the crime-fighting agency gifted the building to the harbor. And Metro's generous donation is no surprise, because the police department is one of more than a dozen agencies who partner with Clark County's Juvenile Justice Services, all who have made the harbor a safe haven for more than 3,000 children and their families. For more information, visit theharborlv.com. And there's no bigger booster of the harbor than the director of Clark County's Juvenile Justice Services, Jack Martin. Mr. Martin, 17, 18 months ago, we wouldn't have been here at this location of the harbor. Tell me where we are. Tell me about this place.
This is our new permanent home for the harbor, thanks to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, the City of Las Vegas, and Clark County. We've got this shared home here of the harbor at 861 North Mojave, brand new home, and we just went 24 hours, 365. So we're really, really excited about our new home.
Going to take us inside?
Absolutely. Come on through.
Thank you for calling the harbor.
Well, this part looks kind of similar to your old location. What is this area?
Generally our reception area. This is where, you know, our staff here, our harbor staff, are going to greet the new folks that come in and give them a comfortable place to sit while we figure out exactly what we're going to do next.
Give me some numbers so far, Jack. How, as I say, it's probably been about a year and a half. How many clients have you had? Give me some success numbers.
We opened October 2016, so we're open roughly, 14 months? As of right now, I think we're just over 2,900 families have been served, youth and families have been served, with less than 100 escalating to juvenile justice. 95% success.
Fantastic. Obviously, you can't do this alone. Some dozen agencies, some of them probably in this room right here.
Absolutely. We have 15 partner agencies on board from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, which provided our new location, the City of Las Vegas, the Department of Health and Human Services, the state, which was public behavioral health. Easy for me to say, right? Medicaid eligibility. We've got mobile mental health, mobile crisis. Department of Family Services is another county agency here. Obviously ourselves, Department of Juvenile Justice Services, are here. We've got the City of Las Vegas as a partner, City of North Las Vegas Police Department's a partner, Henderson Police Department, or West Care is a partner, the Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth. But I mean, yeah, absolutely. 15 signed on MOU partners that are all right here, providing interviews and providing services to youth.
Jack, the layout looks very similar in a lot of ways. You have individual offices and individual counseling and some of those agencies I'm sure you mentioned. But how much better is this location on Mojave in Washington than where you were on Family Court?
Well, I think it's much better. First of all, it's closer to the communities in which we serve. Second of all, it's not connected to a detention center. So families that maybe has some tentativeness about being served by another public agency would hopefully be less scared to get involved here, more approachable to the community. So we're really excited about the location, and obviously we're right across the street from neighborhoods and homes in the communities in which we serve. So.
Is it still just getting the word out about the harbor? You said that word detention center. Maybe parents, probably kids come in here and probably don't understand where they are in the juvenile justice system, but this isn't detention.
Absolutely not. This is 100% a resource for our community. We know that we have an underserved population here in Clark County, whether it be in our schools, whether it be in our public play areas. Our kids, and oftentimes, especially our disadvantaged kids, are not getting the services they deserve, and oftentimes they're escalating into juvenile justice systems for a lot of things that we believe are survival crimes. So that, and if we just recognize issues with a child early enough, we can hopefully wrap them in resources to keep them from escalating within systems. It's free of charge. This is not a law enforcement intervention. This is part of a strategy of a multitude of strategies that law enforcement can utilize, but this is truly a community program that's designed to keep kids from escalating in systems.
I believe in your numbers you say that about 25% of the kids or the families that come in here are walk-ins. Are you surprised at that number?
We were at first. We were absolutely surprised at first. When we first opened up, we thought this was really going to be law enforcement driven and officers out in the field. We're going to see kids in crisis, and knowing cops and being a law enforcement officer myself, oftentimes we get to situations that are not law enforcement related. They're really about a family in crisis. So we believed that this was going to be 100% law enforcement, and we were pleasantly surprised. I think it speaks volumes to the level of service that we're providing in the community, that families feel comfortable enough to come in here and receive services.
How would you characterize Metro's initial thoughts as far as the harbor went, and obviously now they gave you a surplus building?
Metro's been incredible. Sheriff Lombardo and Under Sheriff McMahill have been on board since day one when we brought this up, and it was really a matter of just converting this space from what it was to what it is today. This was a training center, and it wasn't set up to do what it is doing now. But Under Sheriff McMahill and Sheriff Lombardo have been on board 100%, knowing that we can't arrest our way out of the problems that we're in, and understanding that early intervention, diversion, these things are what works.
Talk a little bit more about the hours, how you were a little bit limited to the number of hours, the number of days you could be open, and where you are now.
Absolutely. When we opened up, we were Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. We'd done a bunch of data mapping and really saw that our peak crime hours were about 11 in the morning, so we wanted to be open at those times. But like I said, this has been an awakening. We didn't realize we were going to have so many walk-ins. We didn't realize we were going to get so many referrals from the school district. So we really needed to go 24/7. So about 2 weeks ago, we are now 24/7, 365, open all the time. We never close. So we're really excited about because this is a 24-hour town. We're scheduling appointments with families as they run in, because Clark County School District is one of our premier partners. So as they have issues at the school, they're calling us. We're setting up appointments for the families. Shift workers down on the strip and whatnot, we're able to now set up appointments for Saturdays, late Sundays. I mean, we're here 24/7. So it's been great, and we're really, really looking forward to continuing to expand throughout the community.
What other improvements or implementations have you had that have gone along the way that have pleasantly surprised you?
Well, I'll tell you, we didn't realize that we were going to open as many localized programs. A lot of our staff here really recognized that we had issues that we could resolve at the lowest level, whether it be an anti-bullying class. So now our staff run an anti-bullying class. Lots of kids go through it. We also run decision-making classes. They're run right here. They're free to the public. They're free to the kids that come here, and they've been proven to be very effective. The other thing that we started when we started this program was we did an exit survey. So every family, as they leave, we give them a survey. We want to know what we're doing well. We want to know how we can do it better and how we can better serve the community in which we're claiming to serve. And hands down, the feedback has been incredible. I mean, a lot of folks have been incredibly happy with the services. We thought, we'd get a little more guiding light through those surveys, and what we've really got is a lot of people very satisfied with the services. So we're very excited about that.
Mr. Martin, as you keep saying, free obviously is what you want to get across, to show anybody that can use these services that finances are not going to be an issue, and you're also making it easy. You've got a great website, bilingual forms, bilingual staff, I imagine.
Yep, absolutely. One of the priorities we knew was serving our underserved community, so bilingual staff are here. And if it's not one of the more common languages, we do have access to translation services, so we can make a phone call and hopefully get people the language they need to speak to get them the services they need. And like you mentioned, free is big. A lot of the families we're serving are not families that can afford this level of service. So, and we can also help connect them to the resources. So thank you to the Department of Health and Human Services and Director Whitley, who has made it abundantly clear this is a priority for him, because we have a Medicaid eligibility person here, so we connect people to the insurances they need. We help them navigate a lot of those services while they're here, like getting connected to insurance. And then once they get connected to insurance, we can start looking at the whole family and connecting them to medical, dental, all the other services that are part of our quality of life issues that I think some of us take for granted.
Something else I'm sure you take for granted. We see some great snacks and things out there that more often than not, kids come in here and their stomachs are growling.
Absolutely. A lot of our kids come in hungry, and 3 Square has been an incredible partner with us also, because one of the things we want to make sure is that kids aren't committing crimes or getting in trouble because they're hungry or they're trying to feed their younger brothers or younger sisters or their family members. So we have access to TANF and WIC and all of the resources that can help feed a family and get them out of the immediate food crisis that they might be in. So absolutely. One of the first things we want to do is ask a kid when he gets in here, hey, have you eaten? Let's feed you. Let's make sure you have some sustainable food at the house. So it's been a big deal.
What are some of the other main reasons, behavioral-wise, I suppose, that draw families and kids here to the harbor?
Well, and remember, we don't take violent crimes here. So, this is not a place where we're taking felony violent crime. This is beginning, entry-level, low-level crime. So we get a lot of first-time possession of marijuana, first-time possession of alcohol, underage possession of alcohol, fighting at schools, obviously without great bodily harm. We get a lot of, possession of drug paraphernalia. We get not going to school. Then, quite honestly, with the 25% of kids that are showing up here on walk-ins, they're coming in because of incorrigibility issues. Mom and dad are having a hard time connecting them and feeling like they're getting out of control. So the moms and dads are bringing them here so we can help guide that kid into a safe place and get out of the rambunctious stages of teenage.
A very intelligent and dedicated man says this all the time. We're in the kid business and we're trying to put ourselves out of business. What do you mean when you say that, Jack?
If we can get services wrapped around children early enough, they no longer feel the need to commit crimes. They're not in the business of raising trouble at their schools. They're focusing on their education. They're graduating from schools. And the bottom line is, if we can invest upstream, there's no longer a need for a juvenile justice system. And if we stop the tide of children coming in the juvenile justice system, let's just look down the rows. That means less arrests in the community. That means safer communities. That means less adults in Clark County detention centers. It means, the less dependence on adult mental health issues, the less dependence on long-term societal programs. And there's a lot of proof nationwide that this type of programming absolutely works 100%. So we're excited. We're excited to put ourselves out of business.
And you also finally, a teacher, a coach, a student, a neighbor, somebody, quite often it is someone like that can identify the problems on kids that are just going in the wrong direction.
We have countless stories of a pastor bringing kids in here. We've got countless stories of a teacher recognizing a kid coming into school 3 days in the same clothes and recognizing that's not normal. This is not normal. And asking the kid and building that pro-social relationship and getting a referral over here. We're not just trying to serve kids once they're in trouble. We're trying to recognize that child as early as we can. So if you're a neighbor and you see a family struggling across the street, here's the place to be. If you're a coach of your son's basketball team and one of the kids is maybe missing class, if you're a teacher in your classroom and your kids tardy every day, these are all signs of things that could escalate into something more. And what's wrong with bringing them by here and having a free service? This is not law enforcement. We're not trying to arrest anybody. We're not trying to deport anybody. These are not where we're at. We're at a place where we want to help children be successful in the community in which we reside. And it helps all of us.
Well, that's our show. For more information on anything you've seen on this program or anything relating to your Clark County government, visit our website at ClarkCountyNV.gov. On behalf of all of us here at Clark County Television, I'm Randy Swallow. We'll see you again next time here on Clark County Chronicles.
watching Clark County Television. Our community, our home, Clark County, Nevada.
Hello and welcome to Flight Path. I'm Chris Jones, the Chief Marketing Officer at McCarran International Airport. We hosted more than 48 million passengers in 2017, besting a 10-year-old record and marking the busiest year ever in the airport's 70-year history. Here's a breakdown of the numbers.
McCarran International, the nation's 8th busiest airport, hosted 48.5 million passengers in 2017, breaking the previous high of 47.7 million annual passengers set back in 2007. McCarran posted multiple all-time high months, including the best December.
In fact, 8 out of the 12 months last year topped over 4 million passengers a month, which was unprecedented.
October was the busiest month ever in the history of McCarran, with 4.3 million travelers flying into or out of McCarran, up 2.2% compared to the same time last year. Ground transportation set a new milestone of 5.4 million airport pickups by taxis, Uber, and Lyft providers, an increase of 11.7% from the prior year.
We are really thrilled that we broke our all-time passenger high record in 2017. That's 10 years ago since our last all-time high. And what we're really happy about is that it shows the strength of Las Vegas as a destination. You know, almost 50% of our visitors come through the air, and just shows the economic strength and benefits that we have for all of Nevada.
Significant growth in service from low-cost carriers Frontier, Spirit, and Sun Country boosted domestic traffic totals at McCarran by 2.4%. Spirit added more than 230,000 seats to Las Vegas, a 7% increase compared to 2016, while Frontier was up 23% with 432,000 additional seats to the market.
So overall this past year, we had new or increased service from 26 domestic destinations and new international service from Munich and Cologne.
More than 3.5 million international passengers traveled through McCarran, led by Canadian carriers WestJet Airlines and Air Canada, which served a combined total of 1.8 million. UK carriers British Airways and Virgin Atlantic carried nearly 605,000 passengers, while Mexico was the third largest source of international passengers at McCarran last year. Passenger volume is forecasted to remain steady throughout 2018. And with a renewed focus on providing the best customer service possible, travelers visiting McCarran this year can expect to be treated like VIPs, very important passengers.
Did you know the Department of Aviation operates an integrated system of airports to meet the aviation needs of a variety of customers? Gene Sport Aviation Center supports recreational activity better suited for airspace outside of busy Las Vegas. After more than 20 years, it's getting a few upgrades.
Located 20 miles south of Las Vegas on I-15, Gene Sport Aviation Center is ideally suited for fly-ins and recreational aviation, including aerobatics, ultralights, gliders, and skydiving.
The facility features 2 paved runways, a 6,000 square foot special event center, paved ramp, a self-service fuel island, and a grassy area with 2 gas barbecue pits.
The airport has been a haven for sports aviation enthusiasts since 1996, when the Department of Aviation paved the gravel runway and made other improvements. But as air traffic in the Las Vegas Valley has increased, Gene has become an even more popular alternative for flight schools and sport aircraft operations.
We've had a lot of increase in Gene of the commercial operators that do flight training down here, so that alleviates both Henderson and North Las Vegas of that type of traffic. Gene's attractive to them because it enables them to do a lot of touch-and-go type maneuvers without tower control, and it's a lot less congested here. So for a student pilot, for instance, that is money well spent because they get a lot more of those maneuvers in a shorter period of time.
To enhance pilot safety and improve the customer experience, several upgrades are currently underway. 177,000 square feet of existing ramp space will be completely rebuilt, and construction of additional apron area will add 234,000 square feet and bring the transient customer area up to current FAA design criteria.
And with that comes new hardware for tie-down, 6 rows of tie-down space for aircraft, and new lines for ingress and egress into the ramp area.
In addition to improvements on the ramp, new edge lighting for the connecting taxiways and reflective edge markers for the apron will be added. Upgraded apron flood lighting and cable tie-downs for aircraft parking for both the existing and new apron areas round out the list of improvements.
I think the customer service improvements that we'll see in Jean after construction are we're installing LED lighting, brand new state-of-the-art lighting. That'll provide a very bright ramp surface. That'll enable pilots to do pre-flight at any hour of the day. They can see oil dipsticks, for instance, something as simple as that they would have to use a flashlight for in the past. They don't have to do that now. Also, customer service is provided by the fact that they can more safely ingress and egress the ramp area and navigate to and from the movement areas from the ramp area with that lighting. And then lastly, the fuel service area. We're increasing the space around that area by reconfiguring the way the ramp is painted.
Construction on the $2.3 million project began in January, with substantial completion scheduled for sometime in April. For more information, visit McCarran.com and search the keyword Jean.
Viva Aerobus returned to McCarran in December, launching daily nonstop service between Las Vegas and Mexico City. Here's a look at the celebration marking the occasion.
1, 2, 3. All right.
With the snip of a ribbon, airport management, airline partners, and the LVCVA celebrated the return of Viva Aerobus to McCarran and Las Vegas. The non-stop flight provides passengers connectivity from Mexico's largest city and is expected to transport more than 100,000 passengers per year.
Las Vegas is a very popular destination in Mexicans. Second most important tourism generator in Las Vegas comes from Mexico. 1.2 million passengers come every year. And Mexico City particularly is a very popular destination where a lot of Mexicans come from leisure, travel, and of course a lot of business.
Mexico annually ranks as the second largest source of international visitors to Las Vegas. International travelers stay longer and spend an average of 80% more per trip. The new daily service from Viva Aerobus will provide passengers more travel options from this valuable market.
McCarran has invested heavily in getting that process for the international passenger to have capacity, to have the amenities, and to have a very smooth, efficient type of experience once they get here.
This service by one of Mexico's low-cost airlines provides customers an affordable way to visit, while helping Las Vegas achieve its goal of increasing international visits over the next decade.
You know, we're very fortunate that we have a very good and hardworking airline development team, and working with McCarran Airport and looking at opportunities and markets around. And they had conversations with Viva Aerobus for the opportunity to expand service for a unique segment in Mexico. And I think it just worked very well together, being the destination that the Mexicans love to be at, and it just worked out perfectly.
The LVCVA estimates this route will have a $78 million annual economic impact on Southern Nevada, making the service a win-win for passengers and our community. For a list of other airlines serving this important market, visit McCarran.com.
In today's digital world, getting information is just a click away on a smartphone, tablet, or computer. To make that process as simple as possible for airport customers, McCarran's website recently got a makeover. Let's take a look.
Creating an attractive, user-friendly website is important. In the consumer's eyes, a website is a reflection of the business itself. Many consumers form first impressions of McCarran online before they even set foot in the airport. Having a good website is one of the most important tools in helping travelers prepare for their trip before coming to the airport. In addition to new features and improved navigation, the look of the website was updated to reflect current design trends and improve ease of use. In addition, what we like is the use of promotional space as well as icons for user navigation. Website metrics reveal most online visitors are seeking flight data. The new design puts arrival and departure information front and center with an easy-to-use tool that allows visitors to search for flights by city, airline, or flight number from the homepage. Once the flight has been selected, the site automatically provides flight-specific information including which terminal to use, where to park, the gate information, and what amenities are located nearby. One of my favorite parts about McCarran's redesign is enhanced airline pages. Not only does it have information about the airlines themselves, but it has information specific to the customers that are flying on these airlines. As a digital representation of our physical facilities, the new website makes finding essential information quick and easy in order to provide the best customer service possible, online and in person. Site navigation has been enhanced with multiple paths and additional pages to help travelers find what they need. Dining and shopping options are presented in multiple formats, from an alphabetical listing that can be filtered by gate location to easy-to-read concourse maps. Comprehensive parking information, rates, and driving directions are just a few additional enhancements. The new design offers travelers a more mobile-friendly experience. It automatically adjusts its layout to multiple screen sizes to maximize its appearance on the variety of mobile devices used by travelers on the go. The redesign also enhances accessibility for travelers with special needs. More information is provided about the airport's efforts to make its facilities accessible to all travelers, and website content is available to visitors who use translator and text-to-speak features. And to assist international customers, website content is available in 10 different languages with just a click of the button. The web design team, comprised of members from the Department of Aviation's Information Systems and Public Affairs and Marketing divisions, also recently overhauled websites for other airports owned and operated by Clark County, such as North Las Vegas Airport and Henderson Executive Airport. To see the improvements and prepare for your next trip, visit McCarran.com.
To reach out to our growing number of Hispanic customers, each episode of Flight Path features a segment in Spanish with English subtitles. Here's Gabrielle Muro to tell us more about Wi-Fi.
En el año 2005, el Departamento de Aviación lanzó a través del aeropuerto McCarran el servicio gratis de Wi-Fi, conexión inalámbrica a Internet, la cual ha resultado ser una de las redes más grandes de Wi-Fi gratis en el aeropuerto de Estados Unidos. Desde entonces, dicho servicio ha demostrado ser muy popular con los clientes del aeropuerto.
Wi-Fi está disponible en todas las zonas públicas del aeropuerto, permitiendo que los clientes con teléfonos inteligentes, tabletas y ordenadores tengan acceso ilimitado a la Internet con alta velocidad.
Wi-Fi también está disponible en las zonas de embarque. Los pasajeros tendrán acceso a Internet mientras que el avión está estacionado. Una vez que el avión comience a moverse, los pasajeros deben seguir las reglas de la aerolínea con respecto al uso de dispositivos electrónicos. Al acceder al Wi-Fi es muy sencillo. En su dispositivo electrónico, abra su navegador y selecciona McCarran Wi-Fi y enseguida selecciona el botón Accept. El sistema de Wi-Fi gratuito también es compatible con las aplicaciones empresarias internas de las compañías aéreas y los inquilinos del aeropuerto McCarran.
Esto ayuda a que el aeropuerto sea más eficiente y ayuda a mantener bajos los costos operativos.
Did you know McCarran International Airport is the gateway to Las Vegas for nearly half of all visitors to Southern Nevada? That means the airport is often the first and last impression a visitor has of a destination. To make that impression the best one possible, we have a team of dedicated passenger service representatives who are at your service.
Where did you come from? Phoenix, Chicago, O'Hare? You want carousel 13. It's just going to be right down the way.
Passenger Service Representatives, or PSRs for short, are easy to identify in their bright blue uniforms and have been providing great customer service at McCarran for more than 25 years.
If you go straight ahead, after you pass the
PSRs staff the airport information booths, helping travelers with questions about flight times, gate locations, ground transportation, and shopping and dining options.
You go out, across, and up, it'll take you right to it. You're welcome. Have a good day.
For travelers who do not speak English, our PSRs can still assist.
Most of us are bilingual. We do have various languages we speak here, but we also have a phone bank we can call a language bank.
And what it is we also grab a sheet, we hand it to the passenger, and if they recognize their native language, they can point to it, we could tell the language line that, and they'll actually get an interpreter to help us out with any type of directions, instructions, things like that.
These valuable employees also serve as roving ambassadors, assisting passengers throughout the airport as needed.
Our team is amazing. We work extremely great side by side. Any situation that arises, we help each other, right away. If it's in Terminal 3, we can help from here, even if it's by a phone call away, or if we're using our radios to be able to assist in any way that we can, then that's what we do, help out as much as we can.
Well, it's great here working at the airport because you get to meet passengers from all over the world. With Las Vegas being a world destination, capital of entertainment, we get people from all over the world, and it's nice to be able to interact with them and to meet different people. And it's a great part of be a great part of working here.
Most of them are certified to administer CPR and use an automated external defibrillator. This life-saving training has proven invaluable during medical emergencies.
Because they are out in the terminal walking around, they oftentimes see passengers who may be in distress. They are able to assist in terms of a quick assessment, calling for help to get the right people rolling. And we actually have had some team members who have saved lives by using the AEDs.
When the airport is busy, PSRs assist with crowd control and help manage the lines in ticketing and at the security checkpoints.
So just so you guys know, whenever you have that TSA pre-check, there's a faster lane you guys can use where you keep your coat, your shoes, and your belt on. Guys, follow me, I'll take you directly to it. Every day I try to put myself in their shoes. I know a lot of times it's their first vacation, they decided Las Vegas is someplace fun they want to visit. So whenever they ask questions or they're a little unsure or timid, I try to make it easier for them, try to explain things as simply as I can without overcomplicating them. And I kind of like just knowing that they're leaving here with a smile, they know where they're going, and we service them as well as we can.
Working with the public in the terminals, PSRs are often the first resource for passengers when extra help is needed. Their priority is to help the airport provide the best customer experience possible. And that's why passenger service representatives are at your service.
With passenger numbers on the rise, attending to the daily operations at McCarran International Airport is more important than ever. But attending to the needs of the community we serve is also a top priority. Here's how the Community Enrichment Team contributes to locals in need of a helping hand.
In 2014, the Department of Aviation created the Community Enrichment Team to give staff the opportunity to get more involved locally through philanthropic activities and to make Clark County a better place to live by helping those in need.
The team gives employees who don't normally work together the opportunity to participate in activities that positively impact the local community while instilling pride in the airport.
Since the team's inception, Department of Aviation staff have participated in 11 outreach projects and 8 donation drives for a variety of local organizations, including Clark County Family Services, Clean the World, Miracle League, Opportunity Village, Project 150, Ronald McDonald House, Shade Tree Shelter, Spring Mountain Ranch, the Salvation Army, and USO. The Community Enrichment Team recently spent a Saturday morning volunteering at 3 Square Food Bank where employees helped pack fresh food for families here in Southern Nevada.
3 Square's mission is to provide food for those who are food insecure throughout all of Southern Nevada. So that's 4 counties. And so in order for us to satisfy the need out there, it's essential that we have a large pool of volunteers and help either assemble meals in our community kitchen, bag produce in this room, as the group is today from McCarran Airport. Volunteers basically are the lifeline of our enterprise here.
Most events are open to the entire family, which gives children the opportunity to work with their parents, learn about community service, and get an understanding about the importance of volunteerism.
Community service is really part of our culture at the Department of Aviation. We take great pride in reaching out to the community and assisting different charities that need assistance. And it really gets our employees engaged. Employees take great pride in volunteering for the different causes. And part of the program, we let the families come along and they volunteer with the staff. So it really gets the children working side by side with the parents.
What I'm doing is I'm taking the bags and putting good tomatoes in it, and I think it helps by feeding people.
We like volunteering. We've done these events before. We just like helping out and being part of the community.
Well, I just hope that she gains an understanding of serving her community and just giving of herself, through service so that she can help others.
It's fun, and my brother's here too, so we all get to help.
It's very heartwarming. It's heartwarming that the ones that have a bit more give to the less fortunate, and it's definitely a lesson to my kids, so I'm so grateful to be here.
Because if other people feel good, then it makes me feel good.
For those unable to attend weekend activities, on-site donation drives are a great way to participate.
In addition to engaging employees outside of work for a great cause, the outreach activities provide a strong platform for leadership, team building, and skills development.
Las Vegas is the venue of choice for some of the world's most popular conventions. The Helicopter Association International recently held its popular HAI Heli Expo in Las Vegas, and our very own North Las Vegas Airport played an important role in the event's success.
Las Vegas hosted the HAI Heli Expo in February, giving the global helicopter industry the opportunity to connect with industry suppliers, build professional relationships, and network with peers. More than 60 helicopters and other multiple rotor aircraft were staged at North Las Vegas Airport as part of the show.
North Las Vegas Airport played an important part in this year's convention. It served as a staging area for nearly every aircraft that was on display at the convention center. The location of North Las Vegas Airport is perfect for this convention. We have a very quick corridor going from North Las Vegas Airport to the convention center with very little impact to other traffic in the valley.
More than 20,000 industry professionals from more than 90 countries attended this year's expo. In addition to earning continuing education credits, participants were able to advance their professional goals and discuss the issues that will shape the future of the industry through workshops, forums, and other special events.
Everybody from around the world will come to this show, and that's why it's very important for us to be able to show them our products and new things that we have developed, and to meet and greet a lot of the people that use our aircraft. Well, we're based in Torrance, California, a suburb of LA, so we were coming direct here. It's really a one fuel stop that we come here directly, but it's actually fairly easy. We were told to go to North Las Vegas, which actually I prefer. I think it's nice. You can get on the other side of McCarran, so you're not worrying about it. North Las Vegas fits all the needs, and then obviously from North Las Vegas here to the convention center, it's a super easy shot.
Through hands-on demonstrations, including 60-plus helicopters on the show floor, the convention gave attendees the opportunity to experience the latest equipment and technology the industry has to offer.
The expo is such a success, organizers hope to bring the event back to Las Vegas sometime in the future.
And with improvements planned later this year, North Las Vegas Airport will be more than ready.
As people spend more time in airports, unique works of art can provide passengers a moment of quiet reflection or quick respite from the hustle and bustle of air travel. Here's a look at one of the most popular installations gracing the gates of Terminal 3.
Artist Stu Schechter juxtaposes the butterfly's natural instinct to migrate with the human urge to travel in his sculpture Mirari, located just past the security checkpoint in Terminal 3. The artwork features two DC-3 airplanes composed of nearly 3,000 small butterfly sculptures with lead-free pewter bodies and fluttering polymer wings. A rabble of butterflies native to Nevada slowly coalesce into the lead ghost-like aircraft as the onlooker moves around the sculpture. The following plane is more visually literal and displays the tail logos from aircraft that have flown to and from McCarran.
The airplanes are DC-3s, which are iconic airplanes, very recognizable. They date from about World War II, and they were the flagship airline for American Airlines back in the day.
Artist and engineer Schechter worked with students from Newton North High School in his home state of Massachusetts to create the butterflies that make up the piece. The three-phase process involved the research, digital design, and printing of each brightly colored insect, with the students and artists working closely together every step of the way.
When this project came up, I immediately thought of them. This was an ideal project to do research on native species of butterfly, to look at and research what airlines come in and out of McCarran Airport, and then artistically grab the different sections of these airline colors to then imprint on butterfly wings. So they got the entire process from investigatory to doing the artwork on the wings, all the way to the print, where we had to find particular materials that are archival and with high longevity. And so they got that part of the equation too. So it was very interesting for them.
2,400 fine stainless steel wires suspended from the ceiling allow the kaleidoscope of colored creatures to gracefully float and flutter with each passing breeze. From conception to completion, it took Schechter months to create his masterpiece that welcomes travelers from around the world to McCarran.
What I really like about this is my artwork does draw people in. They see from the macro image from a distance, they see the large airplanes, they see two airplanes kind of facing each other. Well, what are they made of, right? You get a little bit closer, you start seeing that there are butterflies involved. And then you go, well, what's on those butterflies? They don't look like normal wings, right? And what I like about this piece too is that I think it's satisfying for multiple viewings.
Mirari, which means to look at thoughtfully or to wonder at, has done just that for thousands of passengers who have passed through Terminal 3 on their way to or from Las Vegas. The Massachusetts-based artist who describes his sculpture as 3D pointillism has successfully combined both the mechanical and the natural into a cohesive piece of art that celebrates the magnificence of flight. The suspended sculpture is just one of many unique pieces of art in the McCarran collection that reminds travelers airports are more than just gateways to destinations, they're also gateways to culture.
Non-stop service from Hainan Airlines and Korean Air is bringing visitors from Asia directly to McCarran. To enhance the airport experience for this important market segment, we recently installed hot water dispensers at Terminal 3. Let's take a look at the why and how.
According to ancient Chinese medicine, drinking warm water is better for the digestive system and improves overall health. While Americans prefer ice water, most Chinese find hot water more refreshing.
Having hot water for our Chinese guests is extremely important and an integral part of our China Welcome program. As we were working over the past couple of years of adding Chinese service, we really studied the amenities that the Chinese passenger looks for. And hot water is one of the key amenities.
To accommodate this cultural preference, we installed several hot water dispensers on the east end of Terminal 3 on Level 2.
One is located pre-security near the currency exchange and the other on the secure side across from gate E5.
The water is sent domestically. There is a sediment filter, a 10-micron filter. Then it goes to the heating unit. There's a 2.5 kilowatt heating element at the unit itself. And then from that point, it's pretty basic. We can just program the temperature to whatever we want.
Water is dispensed at 175 degrees, which is a significantly lower temperature than traditional hot water boilers used in commercial service. But several safety precautions have been implemented. Each dispenser includes universal warning and safety signage and a triple trigger safety dispensing handle.
And so it actually takes 3 different actions to dispense the hot water. We really try to be thoughtful in our approach to customer safety. Some of the unique features is that first we can aerate the water. Secondly, that the units themselves were designed by the DOA and we had them fabricated here locally in Las Vegas.
The hot water dispensers are just one more way to make passengers feel welcome at McCarran. And each unit can dispense up to 21.5 gallons per hour, which in turn will serve a minimum of 300 passengers an hour if needed.
So there's plenty of refreshing hot beverage to go around.
Now you're ready to pack your bags and fly the sky, so have a great trip. Remember to check us out on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, and use all the resources of our website, McCarran.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Flight Path.
The threat of terror may be real, but alert citizens can save lives. At Southern Nevada's Fusion Center, multiple police and partnering agencies work round the clock to prevent crime. Citizen calls to the local See Something, Say Something hotline come here.
Everyday people living and working in our community are critical in our fight against crime and terrorism. If you see something that doesn't look right or feel right, trust your instincts.
Be ready to report who or what you saw, where you saw it, and what made the activity suspicious. If you see something, say something.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no secret to this next trick. Hard hat, check. Tank, check. Building permit. Uh-oh. Never fear, Magic fans. They're in here somewhere. Voila! But don't try this at home. There's no secret to building permits. Even I need them.
I think I'd be locked up right now if it weren't for the harbor.
Fighting drug or alcohol use and changes in behavior are all warning signs that a youth may need help.
I got in a fight and got expelled from school, and my mom took me to the harbor for help.
The harbor is a safe haven for troubled kids and their families. The goal is to give them resources so problems don't escalate. We know kids in crisis can become adults in crisis. Prevention and early intervention work.
They helped me get my life back on track. Sometimes you just need a fresh start.
The harbor offers hope and second chances.
When there's snow on Mount Charleston, visitation soars. So do impacts to one of Southern Nevada's most precious outdoor spaces. Mount Charleston isn't a secret anymore. When it snows, it welcomes thousands of people each day. We all need to do our part to keep it safe and beautiful. Especially on weekends and holidays, the mountain can become too popular for its own good.
Traffic can block the highway. Snowplows can't get through. People play too close to the roads and emergency vehicles can't get through. It becomes a public safety hazard.
To make the most of your visit, plan ahead. Visit GoMountCharleston.com for news and information, or call 511 to make sure the highway is clear. For skiing and snow play, Lee Canyon is best. Remember, dress warmly, don't sled near roads or trees, and don't leave any litter behind. Help keep our winter wonderland safe and clean for everyone to enjoy.
Our community, our home, Clark County, Nevada.
This is where fun happens. An exhibition highlighting the first 50 years of the County Museum is on display. The first 100 days of the Trump presidency is the subject of Sean Slattery's work at Winchester. And the first ever Tacos and Tamales event promises to be a delicious addition to Sunset Park. Those stories and more next on Where Fun Happens. Clark County is enriched by parks, facilities, programs, and services. And Clark County's Parks and Recreation Department proudly offers all of these to you. But most of all, we are...
Hi, my name is Brian Saliba, and I'm with Clark County Parks and Recreation Special Events. I'm here to let you know about a new event that we're going to be debuting at Sunset Park on Saturday, March 31st from noon until 8 p.m. The event is called Tacos and Tamales. It's modeled after one of our existing events called Sunset Park, which is a food truck festival. The uniqueness with this event is all food will be themed tacos and or tamales. To highlight the event, we have a Luce Libre demonstration. We'll have a microbrew tasting. We'll have a kids carnival area. We'll have food trucks, regular food restaurants that are featured throughout the Vegas Valley. Plus, we'll have a lot of arts and crafts vendors. Tacos and Tamales, that'll be at Sunset Park, Saturday, March 31st, is absolutely free to get in. There's no admission fee. However, everything on-site, food, carnival games, will all have a ticketed price through each individual vendor. For more information on this event, you can find it online at tacosandtamaleslv.com, or you can go to ClarkCountyNV.gov/parks for more information.
Hi, my name is Russell Thompson, Recreation Cultural Specialist for Clark County Parks and Recreation. Our department provides a wide range of different activities such as art classes. And today we're here at the Desert Breeze Community Center, which is located in the southwest part of the valley, focusing on paint classes. Now painting is great for so many reasons. You have the freedom to be able to create so many different things from different mediums. You don't have to be a Pablo Picasso or Raphael or Michelangelo in order to create something. This is as long as you put forth the effort and have an open mind to creating something new and open to new ideas, you can create anything you put your brush to on a canvas. Elizabeth Freeman has several years of experience teaching art classes here at Desert Breeze Community Center, as well as some different colleges throughout the valley. And with her knowledge and positive energy, you will definitely have a great time taking your class.
In my class, it's a little bit different than ordinary oil painting classes. The first thing is no two students are painting the same subject matter. I bring lots of pictures with me, and I help them choose if they're beginners or intermediate. I help and let them know which is easier, which might be too hard for them. I give them that advice.
We recommend that painters bring their own supplies, although we do have a few supplies to help get you started, but we also encourage having a positive attitude, a willingness to learn, and of course to have fun. Elizabeth's classes take place every Tuesday evening from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Now online registration for all Session 3 classes will begin on Friday, April 6th. Walk-in registration will begin on Monday, April 9th, and the new session at Desert Breeze Community Center will begin on April 23rd.
This is a totem pole from Alaska that I took a picture of years ago. And I'm trying to paint it. Here's the original.
And most of the people that I teach come to me and say, I've always wanted to do this, but I was afraid. And you know what one of their excuses is? I can't draw a stick. I said, you don't have to draw. I teach you how to paint the subject, not to draw. You don't have to draw. I can teach you how to do it. They get accomplishment out of it, and they give it as gifts, relatives, and such. So I welcome anybody who would like to try. The theme here is don't give up. We'll do it together. Thank you.
Now, for all information on all of our other wonderful arts and crafts programs and special events, health and fitness classes, day camps, and everything else that our department offers, check us out on our website at ClarkCountyNV.gov. Thanks for watching.
It's the best cultural center in all of Clark County. Welcome to Winchester.
Hello, my name is Irma Varela. I'm the supervisor at Winchester Cultural Center, and I want to thank you for your patience during this time of construction. We are building 4 new rooms, a fitness room, a music room, an art room, and a multi-purpose room for you to use pretty soon in the summer. It's coming up. We also are going to have construction in the theater. So it's a whole renovation going on at Winchester Center. We are preparing great programs for you. Keep coming to Winchester, and thank you for putting up with the construction. See you soon at Winchester Center.
Hi, my name is Adam, and I'm the cultural representative here at Winchester Cultural Center. I'm here to talk to you about a couple of the events coming up. Our very first one is Draw, which is a drawing class that you can learn to draw any kind of experience level from beginning to advanced. That'll start on Saturdays the 21st. Our second one is a miniatures painting class where you take miniature figurines and you learn to paint them either with airbrush or a paintbrush. Any kind of experience level, and that's going to be $15 every second and fourth Saturday of the month. Come on down and learn to paint.
Hi, I'm Colleen, and I am here to tell you about some upcoming events at Winchester Cultural Center with Clark County Parks and Recreation. We have Mr. Toad's Wild Adventure coming up on April 5th, 6th, and 7th. Showtime's at 6 p.m. Tickets are $8, or you could join us for a matinee. The matinee is on Saturday, April 7th, and at 1 p.m., and tickets are $7.
Hi, and welcome to Winchester Cultural Center. We have a lot going on for the 50-plus years. Come down and see all the exciting things we have happening in March. First of all, we have our Senior Speaks. Our first speaker is Bob Cantarella. He used to work in the air, but now he's dancing on air. Come and find out about his fascinating story. Also, March 29th, we have our big Mad Hatter Hunt for the 50-plus. Come down, bring your Easter basket, and make sure you pre-register. It's going to be an exciting event. Also, we have our Senior Spring Sing, a concert featuring all the wonderful talent from our American Not So Idol concert last year. So come down, and that is on Wednesday, April the 11th. We have a dance workshop on April 5th, 12th, and 24th. Every Wednesday, we have our fun and games, cards and weed. You must pre-register for all these events. If you're not sure of the dates, just call Winchester Cultural Center. We are looking forward to seeing you here.
Hi, I'm Steve Carmichael, Senior Management Analyst for the Clark County Shooting Complex. You may not be aware, but the shooting complex hosts a wide variety of special shooting programs, such as corporate events, youth events, ladies events, bachelor parties, office parties, birthday parties, and reunions. These events can include trap shooting, skeet shooting, sporting clays, 5-stand, rifle, pistol shooting, and archery. We've got all the equipment necessary to have such an outing, plus we've got trained, competent staff to assure your event is safe and comes off smoothly. We also have our on-site food vendor, John Moles Meats Roadkill Grill 2, located in our Shotgun Center. They can provide a quality food service that will assure the success of your event. If you'd like to know more about a special event here at the shooting complex, contact our public service specialist at our main office, Tuesday through Saturday from 8 to 5. Just another reason to come out to the Clark County Shooting Complex, Nevada's only 5-star rated outdoor shooting facility.
Hi everybody, I'm Martin Olson with the Nevada Department of Wildlife here at the Clark County Shooting Complex with an update for March and all the things we got going on here. First of all, March 28th at 6 p.m. we're putting on a tag application seminar, and that seminar goes over how tags are allocated, how biologists create a number of tags in certain areas, and the information that we put on here will also inform you on how to apply for these tags. Now, to apply for them, anyone born after January 1st, 1960 has to have a hunter education card. And that hunter education card can be completed right here at the Clark County Shooting Complex. We also have some great shooting sports programs going on here at the Clark County Shooting Complex. We have rifle, muzzleloader, and shotgun. Now, these classes are geared for first-time shooters who don't have to invest anything in the firearm or the ammunition. You get to come out, you learn some range safety, and you get to fire these firearms and practice some to see how they feel for you. So sign up for one of these classes at the register-ed.com. I hope to see you out here. I'm Martin Olson. See you next time.
Robinson. I'm your Clark County Poet Laureate. I'm here today with Lana Hanson. And Lana, tell us a little bit about your work and where your inspiration comes from.
My inspiration comes from the rough, messy, ugly road it takes on to becoming a woman. My poetry also gleans a lot of inspiration from my ancestors and the healing and the empathy and the veneration that grows when those relationships form.
Nice. That explains a lot about your work, and I feel like your work is always full-bodied. Like there's always like multiple levels to it. So yeah, it's a full-figured poem. So I'm going to get out of the way so you can share a poem with us.
This is called Burn Low, Beating Tides, Blissful Drums. But Lot's wife turned back, and she became a pillar of salt. Torah, Genesis 1926. The heat from God's damn flames that makes me turn to see my lost city burn. All the rows of pink houses, each a perfect clot, such shiny waste of plaster and paint, bundled with nails and wires by men like Lot. Add trophies, parties with tame intent. Where is the room in which I nursed my sons, and those where I played the nice wife role? Waves of salt tears, and soon the plot hole. Lot and his angels worked till they won. What punishment the pious rained down. I laugh. Ha! Should my look back make me sorry? No, cement me as I choose to drown. Bring me only doomed cities to see. Behold the tantrum of the great I am. Now let me show you what I am. Come, calcium, come in me, saline. My hardening scalp stings with their sweet hums. Come, seven seas, come in me, low beating tides, blissful drums. Better to be made of this, contained, undulating darkness. Two breasts turned up for the moon to bless, salt lips full of Dead Sea kiss. Let good Lot have his God, his cash. All I own is what I've become. The dream's done, down to ash, suburban bravado that was Sodom. My life surge now has a face. And here, I like the way I taste.
That was good. I love how I bring poets on and everyone's really nervous to be on camera, and then you allow the person to do their poem and they fully personify it. So thank you so much for sharing with us. If you want more information about where to find poetry in the Valley, check out poetrypromise.org or eatmoreartvegas.com.
Howdy, I'm Mark Hall Patton. I want to welcome you to the Clark County Museum. This month we are opening 50 years of preserving history, a celebration of our golden anniversary. Yes, the Clark County Museum was the first museum in the Vegas Valley. It's the oldest and largest museum, and so we're taking a look back, a look at our own history. So we hope that you're going to come out and see us, but to take a look at this exhibit, I'm going to turn this over to Malcolm Vuksich. Malcolm is the curator of exhibits here at the museum, and he has created this exhibit, and we'll walk you through part of it.
At the beginning of our exhibit, we have this mosaic sign created by Roy Purcell and the students at Basic High School. This was created in 1971 to draw attention to the front of the museum. The museum opened in April of 1968 as a very hands-on exhibit. People were invited to touch objects, to handle them, to get a sense of the tactile experience. The first remodel occurred in 1970 when the Museum Board of Trustees decided that they needed a more professional look of the museum. And that included a creation of a timeline and selection of objects that fit those specific themes within the timeline. One of the major aspects was geology, and we've drawn a number of our geology specimens out here to show some of the types of things that would have been shown in the first remodel. The second remodel involved the hiring of our first museum director, Roy Purcell, and he created a more artistic vision of the museum and moved to a timeline that included a artistic vision of life in the valley. Our next director was the first female director of the Clark County Museum. Her name was Marjorie Ivory, and she was one of the unsung heroes of the museum because she often kept the museum open at a time when there weren't any funds available for either maintenance or salaries. She might work 6 months without pay, but her objective was to keep the museum open and operating so that it would have a constant presence in the valley. Once you close, you'll never open again. In 1978, the museum was able to open a second facility here at on Boulder Highway. Buzz Nolan was our administrator who handled that move, and at some time the exhibits were housed in the luggage room of the depot, and the administrative offices for the museum were in what is now the railroad office in the Boulder City Depot building. In 1979, the county assumed responsibility for the museum. Bernard Norland was administrator through '84. After that, Mark Rosinski became our director, and one of his major focuses was to open a new exhibit hall, this building that we're in right now. When this building was opened, the museum was able to offer to the public the opportunity to use some of the resources we have available. We have an extensive audio-video collection which is available for the public. We have a research library that includes historical text, popular materials, and paperbacks and other books on a wide range of subjects, and a newspaper collection. To show the development of the museum, we've created a timeline here which explains when some of the houses at the museum came to the site and when they were open to the public. One house of note is the Heritage, or the Gaumont House, which arrived in '83 but wasn't open until 1999. In choosing the items that we've displayed, we wanted to show the depth of our collections. Many objects have been shown several times, but many of the objects in this exhibit have never been seen before. We have bicycles and tricycles and skateboards, and we are continuing to develop the collections, continuing to develop themes and concepts by using our exhibits to help the people of Southern Nevada explore and understand how the county and how the area has changed over time. So thank you for coming.
So we hope that you'll come out and join us. Remember, we are only open 7 days a week. We are $2 a head, but you know, if you come out and you're like me and over 55, it's only $1, or if you're under 18, it's only $1. So it's not going to strain your purse too much. Come on out and join us and help us take a look back at our history.
Hi, I'm Aurora Buffington, exercise physiologist and registered dietitian nutritionist here at your county's teaching kitchens. Every March, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics focuses nationwide attention on healthy eating using the National Nutrition Month. This year's theme encourages you to go further with food by choosing foods that are healthful for the environment as well as for your body. One way you can add healthful foods to your diet while conserving natural resources is to shop locally. Urban Seed is working on opening a new production facility right here in the heart of Clark County. The foods you choose can make a real difference. And here to tell us more about local food production is Anne-Marie Filer, the Executive Director of the Urban Seed Foundation. Hi, Marie.
Hi, how are you? It's great to be here today. So at Urban Seed Foundation, we do a series of events in the community to get food access and nutrition education, along with fun and fit activities, into the hands of students and other at-risk people who may live in a community where daily access to fresh produce is a little bit harder. So one of the ways we do that, which is really fun and exciting for the children, is we create these 5K to Farm races. And the races are tied to a school or an organization that's going to be getting an Urban Seed Foundation funded garden in the near future. And what's really great about these programs, we've got our 5K to Farm race shirts here and our 5K to Farm race posters. So if you're a parent and you see the big purple square coming home in your kid's backpack, encourage them to participate.
Besides being great for your health and delicious, leafy greens are versatile. Just ask Urban Seed's very own Emily, aka Chef Delicious.
So today I've got some beautiful greens that were harvested from our A-frames just the other day. And these are petite, they're baby heads. Right here we have a purple or a red oak. We have a green butter lettuce, and we have a green oak. And these are beautiful Salanova variety. When you use these lettuces, the outside leaves are pretty much just as small as the inside leaves, which is what makes them so nice. So Urban Seed lettuce, it has more flavor. When you go to the grocery store and just buy whatever's on the shelf and you eat it, it tastes like water. When you're eating a plant from like a small market or a small farm, and they really put the efforts and the love into it, you get flavor. You don't need to use a really heavy dressing, and just something simple like a nice lemon and grapeseed oil, salt and pepper, you really can taste everything you're putting into it. So along with our salad, I'm putting a little of our bronze dulce fennel, which is a herb instead of like a bulbing fennel. It's sweet, easy to do. You just rip it right off its stalk, and it is nice little individual pieces. Throw it into your salad to give a bright, fresh flavor. We have some mustard greens. These are nice and tender, but they still have that punch of mustard. And mustard is horseradish, mustard is Dijon, mustard is a lot of different things. Tatsoi is considered a mustard. This is actually a Mizuna. This is still kind of in that same realm of like peppery and flavorful, really nice. So we're just gonna add those to our salad as well. I'm just gonna take this lemon, make sure we have no seeds, and I'm just gonna squeeze it into a bowl. So this is about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm gonna put roughly the same amount of grapeseed oil. The reason I like grapeseed oil is that you can make a big batch of dressing, put it in your refrigerator, and it won't turn solid. It won't solidify. Grapeseed oil doesn't do that in your refrigerator. I'm just gonna put some salt because salt will bring out every flavor in the salad. A little pepper. And that's all I'm going to do to the salad. Mix it up and throw it on our salad.
Improving overall well-being takes a lifelong commitment to healthy lifestyle behaviors, with an emphasis on lasting and enjoyable eating practices and regular physical activity. A great place to get your regular dose of physical activity is at a Clark County Parks and Recreation Center near you. Well, that's all for now. I'm Aurora Buffington, encouraging you to go further with food by eating better and moving more at a Clark County Parks and Recreation facility near you, where fitness happens.
Hi, my name is Sean Slattery. This is my exhibition, The First 100 Days, at the Winchester Cultural Arts Center Gallery. And it's looking at the first 100 days of the Trump presidency and what has changed in culture in the lead up to that. This idea actually started during the campaign time. So this wall is a series of comic strips that are Dilbert comic strips. It purports to be the pencils that would be then inked for the newspaper. However, Dilbert is actually, I believe, digitally made, so no real pencils actually exist. The third panel is also not part of the original Dilbert, and I've written something that's supposed to be equally funny or not funny. The idea of not having the panel match is, so it's not pure appropriation, it's actually going into the fiction and exploring what's happened to truth, what's happened to how we deal with facts. It seems we can blatantly lie now. If we repeat it enough, we just accept it as fact. And so that's what a lot of this is looking at, and that's why there's 100 days of these. I think my favorite, not my favorite, but the most significant is sort of one of the pieces to the show is why it's second to last, is simply this, where Dilbert is sort of in my idea, he's waking up after the election. He's waking up a year down the road and he's saying, okay, what have we done? We've seen, and this would be perceived from the stereotypical white male behind the keyboard that was just doing this for nihilistic fun, doing this just, let's break the system. I understand that urge. I understand we have a broken system prior to Trump, but by breaking it and bringing, I think him in particular, might have been more than we actually bargained for. This is people's jobs, lives. It's president. It sets the direction of our country, and that might not be where we want to tamper with bringing down all the walls. I am white and I'm male, and I'm blind to a lot of what we weren't doing as progress. So being able to see it firsthand and understand that perhaps there was way more room to go than I thought, but to see us now taking, in my opinion, steps back, I did have to address it in my art for some reason. I just chose to. I'm not a politician. I can't affect change other than with my vote and my support of organizations. So this was something I could directly do. But these paintings specifically very different, and what they reference is what we've seen in the last year or so, where we're seeing George Bush make a comeback in the news primarily for being a painter now. And I think it's interesting how once the president has left their office, shy of Nixon perhaps, we stopped talking about what they did. We stopped talking about the consequences of their actions while in office. We moved to all our attention to who's currently in office. So now Bush, who along with other presidents is very responsible for a lot of what's happening in the world today, especially in the Middle East, China, Russia, our relationships with them. We don't look at that anymore. When we look at him, we look at him as a painter. So this is my imagining of Donald Trump in 2027, rehabilitated also as a painter, and here what look like abstract pastoral scenes are still references to Dilbert. So you have the eyes or the glasses from Dilbert. These little tree, shrub-like objects reference the pointy-haired boss, who is one of the characters up here. And then we have this weird boat in a sea-looking object, which is referencing one of the characters' hair. So again, it's still tying into this idea of Trump being celebratory of the Dilbert sort of me first culture. This is the title, The Cave, and it's a reference directly to Plato's cave. And it is the only visual element of Trump in this actual show that we have, and those are his lips on both of the figures there. Going back to the cave, because again, that's where people are trying to, one of the first stories of people trying to figure out what's real, what's not real, and the debate on what it's best, is it best to know reality, is it best not to? I think that debate, amazingly, is still going on right now. I would love for you to come down and see it. I've put a lot of work into this, and I think it's a statement that I stand behind. It's on view from now until March 30th. Thank you very much.
You're watching Clark County Television, our community, our home, Clark County, Nevada.
Nevada State Route 169 is located in the northeastern part of Clark County. State Route 169 begins at exit 93 off Interstate 15, continues south through the Mawapa Valley, and includes the farming communities of Overton and Logandale. It ends at North Shore Road in the Lake Mead National Recreation Area. Let's take a look at some of the people and places and sights along this rural slice of District B. And just a few miles west of 169 is the Logandale Trail System, 45,000 acres of stunning southern Nevada scenery. And of course, the place has trails, more than 200 miles of them, for nearly every type of recreational usage.
They love it. I mean, it is a little slice of heaven that you don't even know about until you literally come over that road, you know, and it's like, wow, it's here.
Elise McAllister and Bonnie Levitt are massive supporters of the Logandale Trail System. The pair are employees at Partners in Conservation, a nonprofit organization that bridges the gap between rural communities and government entities to develop recreation and promote conservation on public lands.
You have all manner of OHV use that uses it, and then you have hiking, photography, picnicking, camping. We've had a couple of marathons here.
The Logandale Trail System offers stunning views and scenic vistas, with majestic red rocks and sweeping sand dunes rising from the desert floor. Home to hundreds of species of native plants and animals, exploration opportunities are plentiful for human guests.
On busy weekends, there's 40, 50, 60 different campsites here, and people literally, you know, find a flat spot and pull over.
Situated adjacent to the more well-known state park at Valley of Fire, this place was once a secret area of seclusion and leisure for Mawapa Valley residents until a couple decades ago when off-roaders discovered the trails and convinced the Bureau of Land Management to designate the Logandale Trail System as public lands.
That's the wonderful thing with public land, is that it really is public for everybody. And so since they started working with the BLM back then, and all these structures and stuff here are kind of from that time period, and then the reputation's grown, and internet and everything's just really highlighted it.
Hardcore Jeep and rock crawling enthusiasts are frequent visitors, but any four-wheel drive vehicle will reward a Sunday driver with spectacular panoramas and a bouncy crawl over well-trod trails. Clark County Public Works is responsible for the road leading up to the trailhead, but improving and maintaining the Logandale Trail System is truly a cooperative effort. Volunteers work with Elise and Bonnie on cleanups and routine maintenance. In the past 15 years, more than $2 million worth of infrastructure, including global positioning, indoor restrooms, fencing, and blazed trails, are just some of the man-made amenities found at this Clark County gem.
And we like to use volunteers to do as much of the work as possible, and that way we like to have what we call horizontal education, where people get involved in something and they learn while they're doing it.
The Logandale Trail System is located just an hour away from downtown Las Vegas. Visit LogandaleTrails.com or their Facebook page for a main loop trail map, photos, and much more information on this pristine piece of Silver State paradise. State Route 169 is in essence the main street in the communities of Logandale and Overton, and there's a lot of Nevada history in this area. Interesting people with interesting stories. Let's learn a little bit more about this place, the old Logandale School.
And Lou Adams and Lillian Frainer Adams, they donated all this property. They donated the property to put the building on.
The Logandale School opened in 1935, a learning facility for elementary school students in the Moapa Valley. Today, the stone building is still used to teach lessons, as a preschool for Valley children. Local members of the Art Guild meet weekly in an old classroom, but most notably, the old Logandale School is a museum chock full of cultural and ancestral photos and artifacts, remnants of the rich history in the area.
And once you know me, when I set my teeth in something, I'm like a bulldog.
Virginia Lanny Tobiasen, known to one and all as Beezy, is a one-woman walking, talking Wikipedia of Muddy Valley history.
Can you believe that?
Beezy and Robin Mon are the driving forces behind the Old Logandale School Historical and Cultural Society, an appropriate acronym of OLSHACS.
History is so important, and this valley still has so many old families that live here that we're finding there's such a disconnect from our young people to their ancestors. We're finding it even among the school and the pirate pride that we've always had. And so what we're trying to do is just bring it back, that these were real people. They gave you your heritage.
His name was Hugh Lord, and he was bound determined that that water would never ever come up to his house.
OLSHAC's mission is to restore and preserve the historic buildings and artifacts in the community. Less than 20 years ago, the old Logandale School was slated to be torn down, just another forgotten and neglected lost slice of Nevada's pioneering past. So that's when Beezy got busy to save the building.
It was in probably 1998 they were going to demolish the building. Clark County School District said that, you know, there was asbestos in it and they were just going to doze it and get rid of it. But the school was literally falling apart. And then I've always collected all this stuff, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to fight for this building because we need a museum for this community. And so it took me 12 years.
Beezy's love of the valley and heeding her mother's urging, Beezy spent years researching, writing, and compiling stories. She co-authored 3 extensive books about the people and places in the Muddy with her friend, Georgia May Bagshaw Hall.
Do you know that you have a ghost in this building? And I said, well, yeah, I do. I know it, yeah.
Like many old buildings, the old Logandale School is said to be haunted. A young girl who drowned nearby is said to lurk in the school. You might expect her to be located in the hair-raising basement. Instead, she's a friendly apparition and spends her time spooking visitors in the main hallway.
Well, and we've had a paranormal group contact us. They love the old buildings, and they've been going around the valley, and they called me and asked if they could come. They've come twice, and the report I get afterwards is don't be afraid, that everything's very friendly, and we did have action, but it's all friendly. And now I don't mind being here, and I can be here alone. My husband will not come here at night with me.
The old gymnasium still looks much like it did when the boys' basketball teams were winning championships in the 1930s. It's now a meeting place, wedding hall, and gathering spot for the entire community.
This room here is something that I've always wanted to do because it's a Native American.
This room is dedicated to the contributions of the Native population. The Paiutes and Moapa tribes played formative roles in early development in the valley.
Indians were such a part of this valley. They worked and first hassled right along with the settlers here, and then became very much a part of their lives.
The old Logandale School and Museum is open to the public Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just an hour's drive from Las Vegas, this place is located at 3011 North Moapa Boulevard in Logandale, Nevada. It's a great way to learn more about this remarkable part of the Silver State.
from everybody that's come in, I've never had one person say, oh, this place is no good. You know, it's junk. It's beautiful. We're real proud of it.
Many of the buildings here along 169 have gone through many names. Back in 1938, when this gymnasium was built, it served the students of Mawapa Valley High School, and it was known as the New Gym. Now it sits on the campus of MacLyon Middle School, and of course, people around here call it the Old Overton Gym.
The gym has always been the Overton Gym. It's even on the out front of the building. It says Overton Gym. I played football, basketball, baseball, and track.
During your years on the court there, I hear Virgin Valley used to kick your butts quite often.
Oh, not that often. We held our own pretty good with Virgin Valley.
Ben Robison, class of 1961, remains a proud Mawapa Valley Pirate and still reflects fondly on his athletic and scholastic accomplishments that took place in this historic gymnasium decades ago. Constructed in 1938, the old gym's Italian Renaissance Revival architecture was a classic design. For more than 40 years, the gym was home to all high school and community athletic events, until the new Overton Gym opened in 1964. Today, this stately structure hosts Clark County School District and county parks and rec programs nearly every day, and remains a vital part of the fabric of the Mawapa Valley community.
Unless you have been in a small town and understand small town community and relationship to schools, you won't get a feel for what the school means to a community.
Dr. Larry Moses' Mawapa Valley roots aren't quite as deep as Mr. Robison, but the longtime educator was the principal at the new Mawapa Valley High School for 7 years before retiring from the Clark County School District. Dr. Moses was one of the original members involved in a nonprofit organization dedicated to saving the place called the Society for the Preservation of the Old Overton Gym, or SPOOG.
I think Ben and some of the guys came to me and said, you know, we have the old Overton Gym, which is they're threatening to tear down, and we need to restore that.
That was 2001. Over the next few years, the members of SPOOG raised nearly $900,000 through fundraisers and government grants. Thousands of hours of work, mostly by local volunteers, helped bring the old gym back to life. Much of the successful restoration was due to the community's sweat equity, and in Dr. Moses' case, a few drops of blood.
Because I've never been in construction in my life. Now, the writing of the grants was easy for me, and the presentation of the grant was easy for me because that's something I did. I wrote and I did those kind of things. But I actually picked up hammers and began to knock walls down, and I learned that you don't leave your hammer on top of the ladder when you move the ladder because it falls off and hits you in the head, and I did that 3 times before I learned that lesson.
All the time I was growing up, a lot of my classes were up here in this room right here.
The second floor weight room is stocked with donated health and fitness equipment and is available for public use for a small fee.
This was part of the squad room for the football team. And when you came up here, you always wanted to...
And Ben remembers the stench like it was yesterday. The Pirate football team's old squad room is now a mere dance room, with locals offering lessons to younger dancers. Today's Gary Batchelor Gymnasium at Mawapa Valley High School is a palace compared to the old gym. The blue and gold colors and swashbuckling logos are sources of pirate pride for current students and for the community. But for old-timers like Mr. Robison, the modern additions to the old gym don't erase the old memories, even the painful ones.
It ended right over there.
It ended right over there?
Yeah, I got hit playing basketball, broke 2 ribs and ruptured my spleen. That ended it. I had a small scholarship to go play at Dixie College. And I still went to Dixie College, but I didn't play basketball. That ended my basketball career.
The old Overton Gym is located at 353 West Thomas Street in Overton. For more information on this place, visit www.oldogym.com. The town of St. Thomas lived a glorious life and died a glorious death. It started out as nothing and eventually became submerged, part of one of the largest man-made lakes in the world.
St. Thomas is named after Thomas Smith, who was sent by Brigham Young.
Despite her lofty name, Sky McLean is more comfortable digging her boots into the ground. The National Park Service ranger leads hikes to the fascinating St. Thomas site, which was once a thriving Old West town. It's now a ghost town in the Silver State, rising from the depths of Lake Mead, which once covered the entire valley. In January of 1865, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints leader, Brigham Young, called Thomas Smith to lead an expedition. Mr. Smith's hardy pioneer pack consisted of about 9 or 10 men and 3 women, and settled in this area to grow cotton and provide a friendly respite for Mormons traveling between Salt Lake City and Los Angeles. St. Thomas was established in a strategic location less than 20 miles from the Colorado River. The nearby Muddy River provided water that was used to irrigate crops, and an established canal system delivered water to the town.
What we're walking around right here.
Hiking the well-trod Tamarisk Line Trail for a mile or so leads to the 47 features that still remain from the lost city of St. Thomas.
So this is one of the most prominent features here at St. Thomas. This is the Hanig grocery store and ice cream parlor.
In 1870 or so, the original St. Thomas settlers were stunned to learn that their village wasn't located in Utah, but in Nevada. Lincoln County officials demanded back taxes from the pioneers, who were faced with a difficult decision to leave or pay the levies.
They had to go back to their leader, Brigham Young, and asked what to do. And so he told them they could vote, and if they voted to leave, he would release them from their mission. And in fact, that is what happened, and only one family, Daniel Benelli's family, stayed behind.
10 years later, in 1880, other Mormons returned to the area, and the town was reborn. Cisterns were dug and installed, which provided drinking water.
Over time, people were still faced with communication issues. There were no cell phones or telephones. There was no electricity. They had to communicate with each other by word of mouth or the mail that might come in. They also had no plumbing, no running water. They would go to their cisterns that held about 6 months worth of water and draw water out of the depths of those 15-foot deep wells.
Around the turn of the century, St. Thomas continued to grow, and these artifacts are reminders of the early hardships and triumphs.
This is a 150-year-old community, so a lot of things came along and went, and then settlers would return. And as the railroad arrived in 1912, that brought their abilities to actually build the schoolhouse and build the hotel out of brick. Some of the homes were built from wood. Initially, many of the homes were just out of adobe and mud, and they made bricks out of that.
About 500 people lived in St. Thomas. Streets were constructed, businesses were born, including the Gentry Hotel. And of course, town founders needed a place for education.
Well, I actually hear some school bells ringing, so I'm thinking maybe that's where our next stop should be. Let's head off here to the left, and we'll go down to what is left of this 3-story school.
The rounded Art Deco steps from the old St. Thomas School are still remarkably preserved. One can imagine students going to class in the 2-story brick building. Built in 1915, the school continued to educate students from grade 1 through grade 8 until the early 1930s. Ranger Sky McLean quotes a former student, Marva Ray Perkins Sprague.
I remember all my teachers, dear Anna Arnold, Miss Birch, and Vera Whitover, were special in my life. The many parties at school, church programs, classes, Christmas was looked forward to. Mr. Peck, a railroad official, always brought cases of huge oranges. How we eagerly awaited that treat.
Far above the crest of any other dam yet built by man, or likely to be built for years to come.
The beginning of the end of St. Thomas was Hoover Dam. The massive federal project miles away created the floodplain that would eventually submerge this valley and force residents to abandon their town, their homes, and their way of life.
People seemed very happy to live here. Of course, they were faced with the change that happened when the Hoover Dam was being built in the early 1930s, and they had to give up their lands through the appraisal process that the government established. And so they reluctantly accepted their fate, that yes, the little town of St. Thomas was going to be no more. It did take about 5 years for the waters to eventually reach St. Thomas. And so during that period, I'm sure there were a lot of discussions amongst the neighbors, but eventually many of them tore down their homes and removed them and rebuilt them elsewhere, whether that was into Overton or they just sold it off as salvage.
St. Thomas has risen above Lake Mead 3 times, in 1952, 1965, and emerged permanently from its watery grave in 2002. In fact, Lake Mead still covers the region a few miles south of the town site. St. Thomas is located inside the park boundaries of the Lake Mead National Recreation Area and is a popular spot for hikers and lovers of Silver State lore. Visit nps.gov for more information. Probably the most stunning location along 169 is this place, the Valley of Fire. A Nevada state park, this place is on its way to a record-setting season. Park officials estimate 600,000 visitors will visit the Valley of Fire this year. Dedicated in 1935, the world-famous Valley of Fire is the oldest Nevada state park. Its name is evident by the magnificent red rocks and sandstone formations that were shifting sand dunes since dinosaurs dominated the landscape 150 million years ago.
So over the years, erosion from wind, but primarily water, has continued to shape the landscape into what we see today. As I touched on, this is Aztec sandstone. That's considered the softest sandstone, so that's why we get so many strange, whimsical, and carved out pockets and formations here in the park.
Coming to work at the Valley of Fire, Chris Johnson's office is one of the most unique places on the planet. The undulating landscape is a stunning sensation. The vivid colors are electric and can seem to be ablaze. This recreational paradise is a destination for everyone, from hardcore hikers and campers to short-term shutterbugs.
So the most popular activity is definitely going to be hiking, camping, picnicking, and just enjoying the scenic vista points, enjoying the visitor center / museum. And this park really attracts a wide variety of people. Some of that probably due to the proximity to Las Vegas. You get a lot of people out here that might not normally go to a national park or a state park, so it kind of introduces them to that whole world. And this has really become a internationally known park at this point. A large chunk of our visitors are actually from European countries, Asian countries, so we get a lot of people from abroad as well.
Popular with Hollywood producers, this Silver State gem has graced the silver screen many times.
And numerous filming projects here. And the professionals probably had the biggest impact on the park, if you will. Star Trek Generation, I believe that was '94. The one where, spoiler alert, Captain Kirk infamously dies, falls off the bridge. That was filmed in the Fire Canyon area. Transformers was filmed in the park. I believe there's some shots from Casino. And these days, numerous car shoots, fashion shoots.
Many of the daily visitors make the short 58-mile drive from the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas to enjoy a different style of stunning visuals.
Are you seeing it? Do you get the elephant?
Is that his trunk?
Yeah.
Elephant Rock is one of the many popular locations in the park. The namesake pachyderm seems to be soaking up the sunshine in his craggy home.
This is the Rainbow Vista overlook. We're looking down at what's commonly referred to as the White Domes area. Generally, that's considered the most scenic part of the park now to a lot of people, probably the most unique part of the park. As we can see, it's where you get all the multicolored formations, really stark contrast to what we see down on the valley floor.
And the White Domes area was once inaccessible to many until a road was constructed in 1994. Providing an exceptional park experience for all ages to enjoy is a vital part of the Nevada State Park's mission. Valley of Fire's harsh setting means only hardy desert plant species survive, and the expected rattlesnakes, lizards, coyotes, and foxes dominate the animal population. But the most asked about Valley of Fire critter is, of course, the bighorn sheep.
Yeah, a lot of people are shocked to hear there's any kind of wildlife at all out here. And what looks like this bare and incredibly harsh climate. I guess the most exciting for most people is going to be the desert bighorn sheep. Pretty commonly asked question is, well, where do we see the sheep? Where are they at today? Where are they hiding? Short answer is you can see them all throughout the park. I mean, I've seen them down here where we stand. I've seen them on the west side of the park. They're generally more active at dawn, but still, it's just kind of right place at the right time. Some people camp here for 2 weeks, don't see any. Some people drive straight through and see a big herd.
For more information on the natural beauty that is the Valley of Fire, visit parks.nv.gov. We hope you've enjoyed this look at a few of the features along Nevada State Route 169. We encourage you to take the short drive from the Vegas Valley, have a hike, enjoy some gorgeous scenery, and learn a little bit more about the history of Nevada and our Mojave Desert and Clark County. I'm Randy Swallow.
The sale of marijuana is getting underway in Las Vegas.
But where can you consume it? On the Strip?
No, not even in your hotel room.
At my friend's house?
Sure, if they say yes.
How about in my camper?
Don't consume it and drive. That's dangerous and illegal.
Well, out hiking Mount Charleston?
No, not in any public spaces. You can't consume it or even possess it at the airport either.
At the bar or a nightclub?
No, not there either. Visit ClarkCountyNV.gov for more information. Be informed, be responsible.
The more pet-friendly our community becomes, the more important it is to make sure your pet is up to date on its vaccinations. Vaccines help prevent many contagious diseases that can be fatal for pets. Your dog or cat can be susceptible to diseases if it is outdoors at all, socializes with other animals, or travels with you. Annual rabies shots are required, but several other vaccines are strongly recommended within the first 6 to 8 weeks of your pet's life. Boosters are also needed. Don't wait. Talk to your vet today. Let's keep our pets safe, healthy, and happy.
Welcome to Club Ride. Club Ride is a free employee benefits program that encourages and rewards the employees that would like to or currently carpooling, walking, biking, taking transit, or even motorcycling to and from work.
Club Ride has excellent programs and services for commuters,
such as Guaranteed Ride Home, Club Ride Discounts, Easy Rider, and the monthly price drawings.
Club Ride Rewards is a program that rewards commuters every month for clean green commutes to and from work. As a Club Ride member, you can win cash and prizes every month. It's a great thing.
Oh, we love winning the awards. We've been carpooling over 11 years now.
We were doing it before it was the thing to do.
I think I'm the better driver.
No, I'm the better driver.
Carpooling was just kind of a natural thing. We could ride to work, we could talk to one another on our way, and saved us time and gas. But that extra prize makes it extra fun.
I was carpooling before it was cool. And before we got the Rockstar parking for carpooling. Club Ride has this really cool website. You go in and you log your trips each week, and it calculates for you how much money you've saved, how much of an impact you've had on the environment in terms of less emissions and so on. So I know for a fact I've saved $300 each year carpooling.
After 20 years of driving in Las Vegas traffic, I think I'd had enough and I was ready for a change. I currently commute by taking the new transit buses. There's a new park and ride in my neighborhood, so I just drive over there and hop on the bus.
I commute with this bad boy right here. My employer not only supports it, she lets me park my bicycle right in my closet at work. I love the Club Ride discount program because I get to use it at Jason's Deli, Cold Stone Creamery, and then I'm even able to use it at my bike shop, Bicycle World. I wish I would have learned about it earlier.
One of the great benefits for employers is the outreach that we do. We set up a table, we give away free t-shirts, we talk to them, we educate them about the program, and then of course the incentives that are available to them. Once employers realize what we do for them, they love it.
Club Ride is extremely successful at Bellagio. We've been a partner with Club Ride since 1999, and currently we have about 1,200 employees enrolled. We provide our employees with reserved parking, bike racks, motorcycle area, as well as pre-tax payroll deduction for the classes.
I think the Club Ride program is very well thought out, very well engineered. Cox is really committed to being a Club Ride partner. We have swipe machines at every entrance where employees can log their commutes. We also have bicycle racks. We have the ability for employees to work compressed work weeks and flexible schedules. And we have pool vehicles that are available for those employees that commute who need a vehicle to use to visit a customer or to go to another office.
Having a strong commute options program is really important to the City of Henderson. Currently, we have over 400 of our employees that are enrolled in the Club Ride program. We have lots of prize winners every month, and I really make a big deal about it. I hand deliver all the prizes. They're just really excited, especially if one of the other employees sees that they're getting this prize. That kind of motivates them and they want to be part of that.
I'm Joan with Cox Communications. I'm proud to be a carpooler, and I think you should be too.
Less traffic and cleaner air, and that's a good thing.
Less traffic, cleaner air. Carpooling is a good thing.
I'm Joey over at the Rio, and I love being a Club Ride member.
I'm Bill with Cox Communications, and we're a proud partner with Club Ride.
Commute options are a good thing. Partner with Club Ride today.
To find out more, visit the Club Ride website.
Or call 228-RIDE or go to your HR office and speak to your transportation coordinator.
That's a wrap. That sounds good. That's a wrap.
Or can I do like Janis Joplin? That's all, folks.
You're watching Clark County Television.
Hello, I'm Randy Swallow. Welcome to County Critters. Critters showcases our animals and the women and men who give our canines, kitties, and other best friends the love and attention they so richly deserve. Of course, that includes the dedicated professionals at the Animal Foundation and Clark County's Animal Control Department. We have a great episode on County Critters. We'll tell you about a massive construction expansion at the Lead Animal Shelter campus, provide safety tips on how to include your pet into your family's emergency plan, and then we'll visit Canine Body Works and Aquatics to learn about a unique style of pet therapy. But first, let's meet Finn. Now, the Las Vegas 51's baseball season is over, and as an unofficial member of the team, Finn isn't boning up on his hitting or chomping at the chance to hit the pitcher's mound. Finn is a specialist who performs at home games, much to the delight of both teams and the fans.
We didn't really know, I'd had him picking up bats, but with all the atmosphere here and the catcher and all the balls flying around, so he likes the balls, so he's watching them, and to get it focused. We've got a lot of training in him, so it worked out really good, and the fans they just love it. What we usually do is I work the half inning that the 51s are up, and then I just go down through the dugout right outside, because they got a little section over there, take them to the bathroom, let them go pee. They got water in the dugout. We got stuff to spray them down, keeps them cool. So they take good care of them. Yeah, Finn is a 4-year-old black Labrador retriever, and I've done some hunt tests, which are retriever hunt tests with him, which is which you'll have to have some directional work and some retrieving. So the only thing I really had to adapt to this was him actually picking up a bat. So I worked with an aluminum bat, because the first thing we had to do was the firemen, policemen, and they use metal bats. So that was nice, because a metal bat's a little bit harder to pick up than a wooden bat. And once you got used to that, the wooden bat was easy. Yeah, we also have him. We saw a video of somebody sent me a video of a dog at a game bringing water out, and the 51s asked me, "Could your dog do that?" And I was kind of watching the video, and I just felt that Finn could do it much quicker, much more animated. I just was like, "Yeah, he can do that. Give me a couple days, I'll have it." And so we brought it out the last game, and he didn't have any problem. And then I actually talked to the umpire after the game, and he was from Venezuela or something, and he said, he'd been umpiring for a lot of years, and he was just never seen anything like this, and he was very impressed. But well, first of all, you have to have a dog that has a great amount of desire to retrieve. That's number one. But like I said, then you have to be able to get him through distractions, because their natural tendency is not really to pick up a bat. A lot of dogs like balls, and you have to be able to redirect them. So, they'll see the ball, they'll see all the action, they'll watch the ball running, and they'll have to turn around, and, I have to call them off the ball, send them to the bat. And we've had some funny moments, a couple times the umpire's throwing the ball out there when he's just ready to pick up the bat, and the dog turns around and goes after the ball. But I keep a whistle with me,
right.
And I just blow the whistle real quick and be able to stop him. And
they react to the whistle.
Yeah, but the crowd likes it. It's part of the thing, and they're just being a dog. It's great. He loves the water. So when he was a baby, he always liked to swim. So we called him Finn. So he does a lot of stuff. And as a matter of fact, we did a lot of the training with the bat. At first, instead of getting him to pick it up off the ground, I actually put the aluminum bat in the pool, and it would float. So he wouldn't really have to pick it up off the ground. It would be right at level. And so that made it easier. Yeah, we have a franchise, Sit Means Sit, dog training franchise, and we have 124 locations all over the country. And we teach, pet owners that have problems or they just want to have their dog a lot better. And we've been getting a lot of requests. So some of our other locations are also starting to do this with some of the teams around the country. It's funny sometimes when the first time that I send them, the visiting team sometimes doesn't really expect it. So the catcher's just sitting there, and all of a sudden this dog comes flying by and picks up the bat. Yeah, there's other situations that happen. Like sometimes when the player walks, what they do is they take off their shin guard and they put it down, and then there's the bat. So the first time that it happened, and I had to send Finn over there, I knew there was going to be a problem because there was two things right next to each other. So as he got there, I stopped him. I just made him stop and sit. And when the bat boy ran out, I figured that the bat boy is just going to see the dog sitting there and he's going to pick them both up. But he didn't. He just only did his job and picked up the shin guards, and then I just gave Finn a double whistle, and then he picked up the bat, and the crowd, they really liked it.
Batting 7. A shortstop.
Yeah, if you just picking up the bat, just picking it up is the easy part. It's all the other training that's really needed when it comes out here. Because like I said, he might be following the ball, and you're gonna have to take him off the ball and get him on the bat. So even during the game, people come over to the side and they want to pet him, and people want his autograph and all kinds of things. So he's a star.
Finn the Bat Dog is expected to be back at Cashman Field with the 51s again next season. The Lead Animal Shelter is the Valley's largest, and thanks to a community-wide fundraising effort, some generous philanthropists, and the hard work of many others, the shelter will undergo a $30 million construction renovation. A recent groundbreaking was held, the next step in the Animal Foundation's Mission Possible 2020, a plan to save all healthy and treatable animals in care by the end of 2020.
This is a monumental day for not just the Animal Foundation, of course, but also for our community and for the people and the animals that we serve here.
Animal Foundation CEO Christine Robinson recognized the guests, benefactors, employees, animal lovers, and volunteers at a historic groundbreaking event. The future for adoptable animals is being boosted as ground was broken during a tail wagging ceremony. The Animal Foundation operates the Lead Animal Shelter. Lead is the largest in the country, saving more than 21,000 pets every year. In the past 5 years, the number of euthanized animals has dropped by more than 60%, and animal adoptions are up. The expansion of the existing shelter and the construction of the Engelstad Family Adoption Center puts the foundation a few steps closer to achieving their strategic goal called Mission Possible 2020, all of us for all of them.
Today is about more than just a building. It's a significant step towards our commitment at the Animal Foundation to save all healthy and treatable animals that enter our care by the end of the year 2020.
It would take people like you to invest in creating upgraded facilities with a campus that is designed around best practices.
The Mission Possible 2020 campaign raised more than $30 million, in addition to large contributions by Clark County, the City of Las Vegas, and some of the Valley's most prominent families, all responsible for this major expansion of the 8-acre campus.
I'd like to give a special thanks to the Ingolstadt Foundation for their incredibly generous support of this project.
The Ingolstads, the Wins, and the Kish families are longtime backers of the Animal Foundation, people who do much more than open up their generous pocketbooks to contribute to love and caring of our pets. The new Ingolstadt Adoption Center will showcase the animals in a new 28,000 square foot facility.
The Mel Larson Catwalk.
And the Larson Cat Adoption Lobby will provide frisky felines with communal cat casas and an area that allows freedom to roam. These upgrades will improve every aspect of animal attention, from veterinary care, spay and neuter services, improved housing, and a big boost for adoptions.
My journey with the Animal Foundation started about 25 years ago when Janie Gale came to City Council and said, we can do better. We can save lives. We can keep every healthy animal and treatable animal alive to find a home.
We get a call about 10 o'clock at night that there was an accident. So I show up. There's actually 5 cars involved. The car that was at fault hit a telephone pole. The driver of that car had fled. And when I got up to the scene, there was a gentleman, the passenger, on the floor, I believe, with a broken leg in agony. And then Lucy was laying right next to him. So picked her up, put her in my car. And was
she scared?
Oh yeah, she was completely scared. She was shivering and shaking. It was so cold that night. I turned the heater on, left it on for her while I did my paperwork, and came back and she's still shivering. So,
heartwarming adoption stories similar to those of Metro Officer Jose De La Torre and his new pooch Lucy take place every day at this place. The lead animal shelter is located at 655 North Mojave Road. And of course, there are many ways all of us can assist the team at LEAD and the Animal Foundation. You could save an animal's life by becoming a foster pet parent, volunteering your time, and much more. For more information on how you can help, visit animalfoundation.com. On a sad note, the Clark County animal community lost a giant in October, William Bill Gilcrease. Bill Gilcrease was probably most well known for his namesake Gilcrease Orchard, but Mr. Gilcrease actually began the Gilcrease Animal Sanctuary years before the Pick and Pay Produce Farm. A lifelong animal lover, Mr. Gilcrease took in abandoned animals of all types, and the sanctuary is now home to more than 600 animals, chickens, peacocks, pigs, llamas, and many, many bird species. We were lucky enough to tour the sanctuary and meet Mr. Gilcrease years ago on County Critters. The Gilcrease Nature Sanctuary is open to the public 5 days a week, a remarkable place in our Northwest Valley that was the home of a true pioneer. William Gilcrease was 97 years old. They might call it puppy love, but it's not always so cute. Did you know that an unspayed dog, her mate, and all their puppies' puppies can produce 67,000 dogs in 6 years? Prevent a litter, fix your critter.
The more pet-friendly our community becomes, the more important it is to make sure your pet is up to date on its vaccinations. Vaccines help prevent many contagious diseases that can be fatal for pets. Your dog or cat can be susceptible to diseases if it is outdoors at all, socializes with other animals, or travels with you. Annual rabies shots are required, but several other vaccines are strongly recommended within the first 6 to 8 weeks of your pet's life. Boosters are also needed. Don't wait. Talk to your vet today. Let's keep our pets safe, healthy, and happy.
In an emergency, you may need to leave your home fast. That's why the best time to prepare for an emergency is before one strikes. Your plan should include up to 10 days of food, water, and special need items for every member of your family, including your pet. Most people shelters don't allow pets. To learn more about emergency preparedness, download our free Southern Nevada Community Preparedness app to your smartphone, or visit the Office of Emergency Management pages of Clark County's website for more tips.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to County Critters. I'm Randy Swallow. Emergency planning experts recommend everyone should have a plan and 10 days worth of essential supplies in the event of emergency. And many people fail to include a plan for their pets. Here's some tips to keep Fluffy and Fido well prepared in case of catastrophe.
Your pets you have to prepare for just like you do any other member of the family. You have to make sure that you have enough food, enough water, their medications, their shot records, everything that's necessary to go ahead and move your pet in case of an emergency, whether it's an individual emergency such as a house fire or something that's large scale. You need to have a plan for your family and your pet.
Emergencies can strike at any time, from a house fire to widespread natural disaster. And that's why experts urge us all to remember our pets and include them in a preparedness plan.
Metro Police!
During large-scale evacuations, including a scare on Mount Charleston last winter, oftentimes shelters do not allow animals to mix with people.
So when we set up an emergency shelter, which will be staffed by the American Red Cross, they are only for people. We don't staff those for pets because we're bringing in different people from different areas and we don't know who has allergies. We can't have anybody getting bit. We can't have any incidents for that. We don't have the care to take care of the pets, such as the food and the water, so pets don't go into the human shelters. They have to be taken care of separately.
But under no circumstance should you ever leave your pet behind. Arrange a safe haven in the event of evacuation. Arrange for preferred boarding or kennel facilities. Check with your local animal shelter for emergency shelter or foster care for your pet. Identify pet-friendly motels and hotels if they can take your pal with you. Ask friends or family outside your immediate area if they can take care of your pet. For more information on emergency planning for your family, including your pets, visit the Office of Emergency Planning page on the Clark County website at ClarkCountyNV.gov. A wellness center for dogs in Henderson provides a new type of treatment for pooches. Kathy Carr is the owner and a licensed practitioner in canine aquatic therapy and massage. Let's meet Kathy and some of her patients as they hit the pool. Kathy, why did you start this business? What are the benefits for the dogs?
Well, I started it for years. I was searching out more holistic alternatives and natural things to help my senior dog. My dog right now she's about 13, best guess. She's a tripod, and she's a mix. She's a rescue, a mix kind of between Chow and maybe Shepherd, a little bit of Retriever in her, and she has severe spinal disease, severe hip dysplasia, arthritis, everything else. So just watching her mobility challenges decrease over the years, I wanted to do more, and I know the benefits of swimming, for us humans, and I've been doing animal massage for about 10 years now, mainly dogs and horses. Nothing was here in town, and so I was like, well, I'm either going to have to move, once I get trained and certified and work for someone out of state, or just go for it, and it's been absolutely fabulous.
Tell me about your pool. Why is this better than a backyard pool or Lake Mead or some other body of water?
This pool, it's only 4.5 feet deep. I'm in there. There's a trained practitioner in there with your dog the entire time. So of course safety is of the utmost. There's no chemicals in here. Everything is sanitized from UV.
I said, we're going to go see Kathy today. And then I know she's excited. 2 years ago, Nala had TPLO surgery on her left leg. And in the mornings, she's always like nibbling on the knee, and she takes very short walks and lots of rests, and I notice it's stiff at times. And my son-in-law saw Kathy's ad about the water therapy, and he said, hey, maybe this would do Nala good, because he'd seen me walking around the neighborhood. He said, why are you dragging her around? I said, I wanted to get the exercise to keep it moving. So anyway, I called Kathy, I told her about Nala, and I filled out all the paperwork and everything. And our first visit, Nala was very nervous, I think, you know, and she's shy, as you see. She doesn't run up to people, and she's not needy for love or anything. So but by the second or third, she's totally relaxed with Kathy. Place herself right on that bed.
Here it's just me and your dog, and I think that's mainly more the, you know, the liability and the how I've been zoned, kind of through Henderson. I'm the first water therapy in Nevada, so it's definitely there were some uphill challenges and some education, you know, a learning curve for a lot of people, you know, here in town as well as the city, about what exactly I am doing here.
So Bailey is 13. She had her leg amputated when she was about 6 months old. It's very hard to walk her. She gets very tired very easily. Just down to the mailbox and back, she will be out all night. So I found Kathy on a Facebook post. Bailey loves to swim, so when she was younger, she would swim my parents' pool constantly. You could not get her out of the water. So I brought her here to get some extra exercise to help with her back leg, because that's all she has now back there. So I brought her here. We've been coming for about 3 months now. Drastic difference. She stands up taller, she can walk around better, she doesn't fall down. She goes out in the yard, she can kind of run around a little bit. So it's greatly improved her mobility.
Biggest thing, of course, is the safety. It's also heated to 85 to 90 degrees, which if there are any senior issues, arthritis, that kind of thing, mobility challenges, that's, you know, just wonderful, wonderful benefits to being in warm water as opposed to, you know, like a Lake Mead. I love the the puppies learning to swim classes here, where they can really take their time and have a slow introduction to the water, where it's slow and safe.
We've had Bandit since April, and he's now just over 7 months old.
You know, and comfortable, and then hopefully set them up for success for the rest of their life, whether their parents, you know, take them to the dog beach in San Diego, or they go to Lake Mead, or they have, you know, barbecue in one of their friends' backyards who has a pool. And if there wasn't ever an oops, you know, and somebody falls in, now their confidence after the initial whoa.
There you go. Well, initially I wanted Bandit to come here because I wanted him to learn how to swim. We want him to be comfortable if we were to take him to the lake, or if he were to go to someone's house and there would be a pool there. So we wanted him to be comfortable in the water and able to swim for himself and enjoy it and learn to enjoy it. And then also him getting that exercise, getting all that Australian Shepherd puppy energy burned off is a great added benefit of it.
A lot of dogs don't know how to swim. Sometimes it's just, you know, they'll just paddle with their fronts and hold their back legs in tight. Sometimes they won't use wands. Sometimes they'll thrash up high like this. So it's really training them to plane out, to kind of plateau and be confident in their strokes and really use the power of all four of their limbs.
From the moment I called her, I just could tell she really cared about animals. She's so great with them. And from the moment that Bandit walked through the door, he just loves her. And so even when we got in this morning, tried to take him out the back, he was like, I know the door's in the front. It's here. Come here. And so he just loves it now a lot.
She's like so rambunctious, and she's like playing and running and chasing everybody, like as if she's like 3 years old again. It's amazing. It's like she gets this burst of energy.
The first couple times were a little bit of a challenge because she didn't know Kathy, but she's great with her. So as soon as she sees her now, it's like she knows where she is. Of course, she loves to swim.
To learn more about Kathy Carr and her unique dog therapy, visit CanineBodyWorkAndAquatic.com. And finally, we leave you with our critter of the month, Bella, a beautiful 5-year-old purebred Italian greyhound, the constant companion and stylish partner of Catherine Trifoletti of Las Vegas. Bella loves to provide Kathy with kisses, and her favorite everyday treat is bacon, with a special affection for the leftover steak bones from the restaurant Bazaar Meats. Kathy and Bella are avid hikers at Red Rock, especially Turtlehead Trail, and can often be found bounding in the mountains or running around the Las Vegas Country Club golf course. And that's our show. For more information about animals in Clark County, or if you have...
Club Ride has excellent programs and services for commuters,
such as guaranteed ride home, Club Ride discounts, Easy Rider, and the monthly price drawings.
Club Ride Rewards is a program that rewards commuters every month for clean green commutes to and from work. As a Club Ride member, you can win cash and prizes every month. it's a great thing.
Oh, we love winning the awards. We've been carpooling over 11 years now.
You were doing it before it was the thing to do.
I think I'm the better driver.
No, I'm the better driver.
Carpooling was just kind of a natural thing. We could ride to work, we could talk to one another on our way, and saved us time and gas. But that extra prize makes it extra fun.
I was carpooling before it was cool, and before we got the Rockstar parking for carpooling. Club Ride has this really cool website. You go in and you log your trips each week, and it calculates for you how much money you've saved, how much of an impact you've had on the environment in terms of less emissions and so on. So I know for a fact I've saved $300 each year carpooling.
After 20 years of driving in Las